into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe. Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day,
and dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
To some, this might sound like a typical family dog. But at Dog Chow, we know that for a veteran suffering from PTSD, this could be the sound of life-saving therapy.
Thanks, Betty.
That's why we've made it our mission to connect every military hero in need with a canine hero of their own. To learn about the simple ways you can help Dog Chow in our mission, visit dogchow.com/veterans.
Sponsored by Purina.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Greg Clark Automotive trains certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. And online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All-Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is going big.
That's right, Austin. Sports bettors can win a new truck, get the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus, and even get up to 30 risk-free bets.
Touchdown. BetUS also has a 150% casino sign-up bonus.
Blackjack, now you're talking, Austin. They also have live dealers and live betting on sports, including racetrack.
Get started today at BetUS.com, where the game begins.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
Greg Clark Automotive trains certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. And online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
KQFN AM Tempe, K257 CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM, K240 EU Cotton Hills at 95.9 FM. Listen to Jim Rome and the Jungle, weekday mid-mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, live from the Harmon Solar Studios.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Friday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale on the eve of a 3-day weekend. Hooray! Oh, I hope you guys all get 3-day weekends out there, too. And, yeah, it is always just nice, you know? This one's always just sort of confused me, but, I'll take it. I get Memorial Day because we're remembering. Labor Day, because of labor, we're not laboring. And it just seems backwards. I don't know why they call it what they call it, but I'm just glad they do. It's been around a couple hundred years, Randy, the Labor Day.
Okay.
Yeah. Origins of Labor Day can be traced back to 1882. 10,000 workers assembled in New York City. They had a parade And then 12 years after that, Congress made the first Monday in September a federal holiday. They acted on that pretty damn quick. So that was nice.
It's wonderful that we're recognizing mothers everywhere. As you know, moms that have labored and delivered babies. And I think this is
Mother's
just
Day.
absolutely, I don't know why we get this day off, but listen, my daughter, she labored last night and gave birth to a new grandson. So happy Labor Day to you, Hattie, and little Jordan, and to the rest of you. Enjoy what moms have done for us all around the world.
It's easier to go along. Happy Labor Day, Hattie. And of course, everybody else who works for a living. Hopefully you're getting paid for the day off, but here's the thing. They come up with all these paid holidays, right?
Yeah.
And the only people who get the paid holidays off seems like is the government workers and, maybe some big corporation types. But the rest of the planet doesn't get a paid day off. So it's like,
some people don't get the day off, or some people get the day off and just know that they're going to be a little light on the paycheck.
Yeah. Again, not the best way of doing holidays, but it was a nice thought. So, by the way, the 40-hour work week that we all kind of go by, that became a thing in 1940. Before that, everybody was working like 12-hour days. It was a normal thing for it to be a 12-hour day. And
I don't know what that has to do with anything. I mean, if we're honoring moms.
Yeah, well, we can do that, Randy. I'm talking about unimportant, disconnected things. It's okay. And, I'm just going to move on. So today, September 1st, pay your rent. It's very important to remember on September 1st to pay your rent or pay your mortgage, whatever it is you need to pay on the 1st. Today is that day. It is September 1st.
Yes.
And I don't know if this has been a long year so far or a quick year. How does it feel to you guys? Well, this year kind of turned to crap like right away for me. I don't know. So, bad years go slow, good years go fast. And then some years just kind of do a combination of both. So how have you guys interpreted this year so far?
Seems like it's gone by quick for me, but
that's a good year for Randy. Keon.
Yeah, it's about the same. It's moving along. So I don't know. It doesn't feel like a slow year for me.
Is it good if it goes by quick? Is that good?
Yeah, I think I think that means it was a good year. They say time flies when you're having fun.
No, I haven't had too much fun this year.
Oh, well, then I don't know why the year's going by quick for you.
Because I'm old.
Oh, I see. So when you get old, it flies by whether it's a good year or a bad year.
Yeah. I mean, it's like just yesterday, I thought it was Monday.
Mm-hmm. No, yesterday was Thursday.
See, I didn't know that. I thought yesterday was Monday. Yeah. Today's Friday. See what I'm saying?
Being old is terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm against it. 888-368-1580. So let's talk about what happened last night and well into the night. So the Haboobs came, and that caused a problem for the Sun Devils as they were struggling against Southern Utah. Okay, let's focus on that part. Now, let's not talk about the weather that did sort of interrupt things. But the fact that it was as close as it was, weather or no weather, that is alarming. Am I right? That seems like it's alarming.
Yes, I would agree with you 110%. And I know my friend Keon's going to add to this, but I will say this, having watched some of the game, I saw moments of good football. I saw like this team is making him. Yeah, this team, remember, this team only had 3 wins last year.
It should have been like the entire time, not moments. It's friggin' Southern Utah. They should have looked like a Super Bowl team against Southern Utah, but instead you got moments. And wow, 24-21.
It wasn't always that way. That just kind of happened there in the fourth quarter.
It was a bad second half against a bad team, and this does not give you much confidence in these Arizona State Sun Devils.
I don't know. Like I said, I saw moments. I think it's the first game out of the box. I don't know, Keon, what do you think?
Yeah, I think look, the first half is where the hope is coming from. That was when they got out to the hot start. That's when they got
start against Southern Utah, 14-7. That's not a hot start.
Well, at halftime it was 21-7. So that is a hot start. You put three touchdowns on the board. If you did that again in the second half, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yes.
So what happened was the second half. It's not like Southern Utah was never going to score against ASU. That's not the team that they have right now. That's the team that they're hoping to build, but they don't have that at this exact moment. It's not like they were going to keep Southern Utah off the board, but you have an offensive guy at head coach. You have a quote unquote quarterback whisperer at head coach. Kind of got to do a little bit better than that. The 3 touchdowns for Jaden Rashada in the first half, though, I do have some confidence in that. But when the weather got sloppy, when the game got gross, all of a sudden, ASU didn't know what to do, and they got stuck in neutral. And Southern Utah didn't. And I do kind of chalk that up to a little bit of lack of experience for a lot of guys on this team. It's a young team. Chalk that up to a lack of experience of the head coach, because it didn't really seem to face Southern Utah at all. They kept plugging along at whatever pace they were doing. But they have to play better, especially when the conditions change, because it's not going to be perfect every single time. And the teams are going to be a whole lot tougher than this. So it was a mixed bag. I agree with what Randy said on that. There was a whole lot to see where you go, okay, there is something to build on here. But there's also a whole lot of stuff that you're like, I hope we never see that again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, I guess we'll have to figure out which Arizona State is the real Arizona State being built right now.
This was not a finely oiled machine. It was a sloppy jalopy is what we have. And against Southern Utah, this was supposed to be, hey, it's our game. New coach, new quarterback. Yay. This was supposed to be the game we would look back on and feel kind of good about when the rest of the season goes predictably rough. And it's going to be. It's going to be a predictably rough season now. Looks like even rougher than we thought if they continue to go the way they did last night against Southern Utah.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna sound the alarms on the first game of the season, because part of that is the experience of the head coach, and there's gonna be a lot of learning experiences of, hey, you have a massive weather delay. What do you do with your team to make sure that they're not tight coming out of that? And so it's not like the guys couldn't have got out there and performed, but a more experienced coach navigates that a whole lot better. It's just a fact. And I think that he'll learn these lessons. Like I'm not, inspired to think that they're going to punch above their weight class this year. I was hoping that maybe we could at least hope for that for a couple of weeks, but there is something to build on in this game. And it's not, the sky is falling. I think we all knew that there were going to be things that didn't look very, very good. I expected them to beat Southern Utah very badly. And the fact that they didn't means that it's going to be even tougher sledding. But I don't think that it's a sign that, things aren't really working out here, because you gotta be able to navigate, week one and all the stuff that comes with it. In this case, it was weather. And I don't think that they really had the experience doing that.
No, the sky is not falling. We just walked out and got to see exactly where the sky is going to be. And, I want to have a little more hope than this for this season. And I understand the hope is in the future. No matter how bad this season is for ASU, next season will be better. This is a rebuild team. This is the same as my Colts. Got a new quarterback. ASU's got a new quarterback and got a new coach. ASU's got a new coach. And now both teams have an entire year to get their bleep together and sort of learn. And it's just a shame for those 20 seniors who are on the team that the education of ASU football is going to come at their expense, with them not getting to have any sort of a payoff at the end of it. But I guess we just have to see it that way, that this is one giant preseason for next year, especially now that there will be no bowl games.
And there's just things I want to see throughout the year. They're going to be in other inclement weather games at some point. They're going to be in other games that are going to get ugly at some point. Jaden Rashada is a true freshman, and he looked like it in the second half of that game. Southern Utah adjusted, and he didn't really have another, thing that he could do to react to what their defense was doing, what the defense took away from him. So he has to be able to learn how to do that. Well, that's going to come with experience. He's a freshman. That was game one for him. And it wasn't a bad game one. There just needed to be a whole lot more there.
Yeah, no, he threw 2 touchdowns. I mean, let's look at the positives here. ASU ends up winning.
No interceptions.
There was no interceptions. Their defense obviously needs some work. If you're going to give up that kind of yardage and those kind of points to Southern Utah, I mean, you got Oklahoma State next week. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. I think the Sun Devils will improve next week. I don't expect them to win, but we'll wait and see. I still say there's positives we can take away from this.
I am positive we ain't going to win many games this year.
But that was true before this. I mean, nothing changed.
Yeah.
The game changed how rough some of those games are about to be, because I mean, I'm looking at the penalties, 9 flags for ASU. And by the way, Southern Utah wasn't much better. They had 8. So it was an ugly game. And, you got to figure out, how do you manage to keep your identity and what you want to do in ugly games? They couldn't figure it out. They're going to have to learn how to do that.
So how much of the weather actually played into this? I mean, they kept them off the field for so damn long. It probably didn't have much to do with it. And they came back out well rested. I know well rested on the machine, but
some guys just get tight if they sit for too long. Yeah. And then, of course, the time that you spend stretching coming out of a delay isn't the same as you have at the beginning of the game. And it just takes harder. It just takes longer for some of these guys to get going once again. And some coaches, more experienced coaches, kind of go, no, okay, we don't know when this weather delay is going to be or how long it's going to be. So we're going to stay warmed up at these times in intervals and just make sure we're ready to go. Did ASU's coaching staff know how to do that? I don't know.
They're going to learn. So did we get much weather at your houses? Because it kind of grazed me out here in the Far East Valley. I thought, all right, batten down the hatches, here we go. And one of the screens came off the window of one of my here at the house, but there wasn't any real rain. It wasn't even a big deal for us out here. Was it a big deal for you guys where you were?
Well, out where I was, we got a lot of it last night. I mean, it was raining, thundering, lightning, high winds. I thought the tree in my backyard was going to come down. There was a lot of movement around my yard. I mean, lawn chairs were flying around on my patio. So it was pretty significant out here.
It was like a regular party. Rough Rob says, ass you looked like trash. I'm guessing you'd say that no matter what. Average Joe says, ASU probably figured they could roll and got overconfident, relaxed during the long delay. Not expecting a lot from this team, but to come out of a delay like that, I guess it's a good win. Blissful Hayes says, is the opposite of true freshman called false freshman? I'd say it'd be false senior. That would be the far end opposite if you're going to go there, I think. Navy Brad says, storm hit me hard. I had chairs in front of my house, so they're gone. History. Blown down the road. Never see those again. Probably taking up residence in somebody's pool. All right. Well, I guess it's good. I guess it's good that I didn't get the kind of storm a lot of other people did. And I saw the pictures of a late night haboob that came through, Randy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Well, the game wasn't. So I guess we'll see what happens.
It started off amazing. It fell very much apart there in the second half.
So this is interesting. Today, there's going to be a college football game. Now, I know we're going to have Keon Rose's college football dance party a little later on, but I do want to mention this. There's going to be a game between the Miami Redhawks of Miami University in Ohio and the Miami Hurricanes of the University of Miami in Florida. In the past, this Miami game was called the Confusion Bowl, but this is the first time they played each other since 1987. So are we still going to call it the Confusion Bowl? I think we should.
I mean, because it's still going to say on whatever network they're playing on, Miami, and then Miami, and one's going to have to distinguish between Florida and the other one's going to have to do Ohio. And when they're talking about the game, it's also going to sound confusing. No, I think we should still call it the Confusion Bowl.
Redhawks have yet to beat the Hurricanes, by the way. They are 3-0 against them. So later on in the show, we will have the college football dance party. So I feel like Jim Harbaugh is just trying to ingratiate himself with players because he just got that violation. He's been suspended for a couple of games, and for whatever reason, he decides to come out and start talking about, hey, I don't think this current system is going to survive. Status quo is unacceptable. What are you talking about, Jim? I feel like that college football needs to figure out how to do a revenue share with the players. Oh, yeah, we've heard you say that before, Jim. Why are you saying it now? Because I'm in trouble, and I need you to think about something else. Oh, all right. Well, let's talk about it then.
All right.
So he says, when student athletes call it a game, corporate types call it a business. When the student athletes call it a business, the corporate types call it a game. We are where we are. We have to try to make it work. We have to try to make it better. So he's saying that the NCAA, who cranks back a bunch of money to the school, who should be cranking back a bunch of the TV revenue towards the kids? So I guess the schools now are expected to give some kind of percentage to the people playing in the game.
Well,
not saying I'm against it. I'm just kind of curious. I'm trying to understand this.
In the Harbaugh model, yeah, it would come from the school because the conferences make the TV deals. That's where the revenue comes from, and then they split the revenue with all of the member schools. For instance, the Big 12, and one of the main reasons why Colorado bolted for the Big 12 was because the Big 12 was like, "Hey, you join us, we'll give you $27 million just for being in the conference for a year." And so the idea that the school gets $27 million. The people actually playing the game, doing the work, don't see any of it. Not even a small percentage of it. And
they do, as some people say, get an education.
Yeah, but that's something that is not happening. Sort of in a vacuum. They get an education, but the education relative to the money being raked in, it's not much. I mean, it's the education could cost you, several $100,000 depending on what university you're going to. The school is making $27.5 million a year, and that's just from TV. Like, that's not from anything else. That's not from stadium sales. That's not from jersey sales. That's not from concessions. That's not from anything else. That's just TV. And so the idea that the college education is the only value you're allowed to get when you are producing much more than what the university has said the college education is worth financially. Just
so beyond the different costs to be at college, and if you have a full ride scholarship to play football, they take care of your tuition fees, your room and board, your books, and your food and stuff like that. If you tally it all up, it seems like they're still getting a little bit hosed there. And then maybe they need to be more in the conversation,
especially when it comes to stuff like food. They cover your food, like the bare minimum of your food. If you're a 290-pound offensive lineman, I promise you, the food money they give you does not cover all the food you need to eat.
I mean, in student life, but I mean, they take care of those football players pretty well. I mean, those guys get special meals, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so. I'm saying it depends on the university you go to. You go to LSU, trust me, they have 5-star chefs over there.
Oh, yeah.
cooking you meals.
Yeah.
You go to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is still making a giant cut of SEC TV money because they are a member school. Vanderbilt does not put that money in their football program like that. Yeah, otherwise, they wouldn't be Vanderbilt.
You go to MCC, they'll meet you halfway at the vending machine. I think that's how that works.
So it does differ from school to school. Like, some guys are really well taken care of. You go to Georgia, I'm not worried about what you're going to eat. You're fine. But some other schools, not so much.
We got to take a break. When we come back, let's talk about some baseball things that happened. I know the Diamondbacks didn't play last night, but other teams did, and I enjoyed the outcomes. Also, Big Poppy, you need some new friends. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
Major League Baseball, the Arizona Diamondbacks back in action tonight as they are home in Phoenix to take on the Baltimore Orioles. Orioles leading the American League East Diamondbacks trying to hang on for a National League wild card spot. Zach Davies getting the start against Cole Irvin. The Diamondbacks plus a 1.5 minus 162 on the run line. Baltimore minus a 1.5 plus 134. The Orioles are minus 118 on the money line, while the Diamondbacks are plus 100. The over-under is at 9.5. The over is at minus 122. The under at even money plus 100. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-736-6158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-736-6158. That's 800-736-6158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-736-6158. Again, 800-736-6158.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
There are many questions to be answered for the Arizona Cardinals this preseason. Who will lead the Redbirds at quarterback when the season starts?
Dominate on 3, 1, 2, 3, dominate.
How well does this team adapt to a new offensive scheme? How will the new faces contribute to helping this team compete?
Everybody working.
When it comes to Arizona Cardinals training camp, here we go. We talk about it. Your home for the NFL, playoffs, and Super Bowl 58. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Today's Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Happy Friday. Well. What an interesting ASU game. 2-hour, 38-minute rain delay with lightning. Game didn't end until after 1 a.m. Stayed up late watching that game. And I know a guy, producer Wes, who stayed up till 4 a.m. in Atlanta to watch that game. That is a dedicated fan. Well, as a lot of you know, producer Wes used to work on this show. And if he'd been that, dedicated to anything, he might still be here. But he's not. And no, I'm just kidding. He's fine. He still works for us. Anyways, so yeah, why would you stay up that late? Once I saw that it was stopping at halftime and the Sun Devils were up 21-7, I was like, yeah, all right, this should be no problem. The fact it was a problem when they came back, that's a problem. But I wasn't going to stay up that late to watch it. How many people actually got themselves back into the stadium to watch the second half of that game? Because they chuck everybody out of the stadium. They're like, go shelter. Where should we shelter? Well, I know a good place, home. It's like, there's only so many bars downtown. Are you supposed to go sit in your car because that's safer? I mean, I get it. You're sitting on metal bleachers in an open air stadium. Yeah, okay, I can see the problem with that. But where were you supposed to go? So did you see how many people showed back up? Did they say, it looks like half of them came back, a third, a quarter? I would imagine too many people did if you had to wait that long. I had to wait 2.5 hours in my car.
And it was 2.5 hours and you didn't know it was going to be 2.5 hours. So you're sitting there and you wait for an hour and you think, well, maybe it's almost done. If you wait for an hour and a half, I can't imagine anybody stayed beyond that, because at that point, it's like this thing could actually be played on another day. I mean, I have no idea how they're going to resume this. And then you go home.
Yeah, there was a point where they're like, hey, this ain't coming back till 10:30. I don't care what time it is. Once I heard that, I've already started the car. I'm already gone. And just, Listen, I love the Sun Devils. Love watching sports. I'm the guy who uses the ticket up, meaning I don't leave in the third quarter. I don't leave just when it's convenient. I'll watch the whole game. But if you throw me out of the stadium and I got to go through all that nonsense again, yeah, I'm going home. Gonna go home and watch it, the rest of it on TV. I've had the experience. I was in the stadium. Now I'm gonna go watch it on TV. Yeah, I can't imagine that many people showed back up. So George, if you stayed up, you got to see it on the screen. Let me know how many people actually showed back up. I'm going to say a quarter of them. Although it is downtown Tempe, and it is right there by the ASU. So if that was a lot of students, yeah, what else they got to do? I don't know. Somebody tell me. Kiss the Cook says, the only thing that's not covered in a player's scholarship is clothing, and that's questionable, and personal spending. If you want something outside of what your scholarship covers, well, that's on you. Gold grills, expensive cars, diamonds, those all need to come out of your pocket.
I'm sorry, that's not happening though. Like I know people who have covered teams in the SEC for years, and there are like the guys that can afford the jewelry, the nice clothes. That is a small handful of guys, and who, in retrospect, were getting kickbacks for that money. That's how we knew that they were getting that, that they shouldn't have been getting at the time per NCAA rules. But the fact of the matter is, just regular clothes, that people weren't wearing, grills and tons of jewelry. I promise you, the second wide receiver on a depth chart wasn't doing that. Like, he doesn't have that. So I don't know who you would be referring to on all of that stuff, but still, if you ask somebody to pick up a second job, try doing that as a college athlete. It's borderline. You can't do it. I mean, you're talking about going to class, going to practice, watching your film for the week, and then making sure that, you're getting your workouts in and you're in peak physical condition. Like, by the time, and this is like, again, the stars have a different life. Maybe you've got people taking tests for you or whatever, but I'm telling you, for the majority of people that play college football, that is not happening.
Don't most of the sporting the four major sports, they get all kinds of gear though. They get warm up gear, they get T-shirts because they want that branding out there.
I mean,
so
again,
they've got shorts, they've got workout gear, they've got all sorts of clothing they can wear. Correct?
Listen, it's not the Russian mafia. You can't go around all day in a tracksuit. Is eventually you want to wear some regular clothes.
But I mean, these guys, yes, they do have regular clothing, and I'm not disagreeing with Keon, and I'm also not disagreeing with the texter. I mean, if
you're just disagreeing with just me?
No, if a college athlete comes in and they want all this extemporaneous stuff, like somebody said, all the sparkle and stuff, well, then that's up to them, whether they're a star on the team or not. But I mean, most of these guys, especially football players, they get to wear all sorts of, other clothing. They've got polos, they've got, shirts and pants combinations that they wear on the road. I mean, these guys get outfitted pretty well. I mean, at D1.
Yeah, at D1, and not even just, but even at the D1 level, you play in the Ohio Valley Conference, you are a D1 athlete. You are not a Power 5 athlete, and if you play in a Power 5 conference, but you play at a school where football's not the priority, you're not getting the same stuff that everybody else is getting.
The biggest question here is, how do you think I would look with a diamond encrusted gold grill?
Yes.
Yes. You see it? Because gold grill, I don't think I can just pull that off. But if there's diamonds on it, I think what do you think? If I came up, I'm like, what's up, everybody?
Absolutely.
You see that?
Maybe. I'm strong maybe.
See, the diamonds make the difference. That's what I think. Just gold, then you're thinking, what's going on there, right? Are you trying to conduct electricity? What's going on there?
No.
But if there's diamonds, well, now you got something.
There it is.
That's what I think. NFL Blitzer says Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to win MVP. First person with 30 home runs and 60 stolen bases. That is N plus Sane equals Ronald Acuna Jr.
Well, I mean, yes, but last night Mookie Betts didn't have a bad night either. I mean, the guy's hitting, just out of his mind over in August.
Except for one thing. Dodgers lost.
Well, they did lose last night, and that's very positive.
Feels good. You know what else feels good? Yankees lost to the Tigers. Oh, it's all I have. All the rest of my sports is dead.
No.
Everything's gone. Everything's gone. Yeah, there's nothing good. There's nothing. Well, except for the Suns when they come back. I got the Suns.
You
But
got
everything
the
else.
Suns. I don't know. I mean, do you know how long and how far hating all of my rivals has carried me through my life, rooting for the teams I root for? Hate has carried me a long way.
Yeah, I'm going to ignore all the games that the Yankees have won. They won like 3 in a row. I don't care about that. They lost this one. Makes me happy. I don't care about how good a position the Dodgers are in. They lost this one, and it makes me happy. And the Atlanta Braves, a hell of a team. They're just the team to help. So I that made me kind of happy.
I would agree with you. I mean, and Ronald Acuna Jr. had a crazy day yesterday. Hit 2 home runs. One of them was a grand slam. The first to go, the 30-60, 30-50 something club. I mean, first guy in baseball to do that, 30-60 club. I mean, the guy,
if he's
the
also
guy's
in the Mile
phenomenal.
High Club. If he is with that, he should be automatically in the Hall of Fame.
Speaking of Mile High Club, he got married yesterday. Very quiet, private ceremony yesterday.
Wait, what? On game day?
Yeah, I got married. Had his girlfriend there. Had
What?
his.
You couldn't wait till the weekend. Why is he getting married right there?
I don't know why.
He knocked her up or something.
No, I don't think so. He just said it. The time was right, and he decided that was the day. So he
didn't
had
want all of the family members coming to the wedding. So you just have a random wedding. Oh wow, wedding on a Thursday afternoon. Who could have guessed?
Well, see, the best thing to do is what we did is we like, hey, we're getting married. You can join us, but we're going to do it in a castle in Spain. Well, that means that nobody came.
So Jeffrey, who's the friend of the show that plays on the Braves now?
Kevin Pillar.
He was there.
Yeah, at the wedding, really?
Yeah, he was at the wedding. Him and Michael Harris II were among the teammates who were at the wedding.
Well, I mean, who else are you going to invite on short notice? Whoever's closest to you at that moment.
He didn't have anybody there. I mean, he says, I thank God for letting me play the game. I love every single day. It's not just about me. It's about my teammates and the fan base. We all share the moment. He goes out there every day, plays a great game. This kid just loved him. He's like Shohei Ohtani.
Can I tell you what happened just there? Here's what just happened. I'll reenact the conversation from his point of view. Ronald Acuna Jr. Ready? That morning. God damn it. Get your purse. We're just going to do this now. I'm tired of you bugging me about when we're going to get married. When we're going to get married. When we're going to get married. Get in the car. No, stop crying. Get in the car. Get Pillar on the phone. Get these other guys on the phone. Meet us at the courthouse. I know it's game day, but somebody can't wait. Get going. Here we go.
It wasn't at the courthouse.
Oh, where did they do this?
Well, it wasn't at the courthouse. I saw the video of it, and it was
ballpark.
It was outside somewhere. Yeah. He said, I didn't mention anything to anybody. It was kind of a surprise.
I thought it was a surprise to him too. So, okay. So I guess this was somewhat planned. All right. Because Pro Dog, I wondered the same thing. Pro Dog said her visa was about to expire. Very possible. Very possible. I don't even know who he married. Who did he marry? His wife. I get that.
His longtime girlfriend.
And where's she from? Is she on a visa?
I don't. It's not in this story. I don't know.
Is he on a visa?
Nothing about her on this story whatsoever.
Fighting Wampa says it must be wedding season. Jelly Roll and his bride just renewed their vows. Who is Jelly Roll? I'm not looking him up. Fighting Wampa. He says if you don't know who Jelly Roll is, look him up. You'll thank me. No, nope. I'm not falling for that again. As it's something like really innocent, like a couple of girls in a Dixie cup, and I'm not doing that ever again. You can forget that right now. So you want me to know what that is? You're gonna have to tell me. Silver Pop says, Jeffrey, don't do it. You'll be goofier than that dork Kirk Cousins when he had all the chains on him. Oh, you'd think I'd have? Oh, come on. I don't know about that. Aren't those grills like sort of like I can take it off at night and put it like on my bedside, or are those like permanent?
No, I think you can take them off. I mean, I don't know. Keon, do you know any more than I do? I think you can take them off.
I think you can too, but I don't know because at no point in my life did I ever want one. So I have no idea.
I think they're like, a very thin guard you slide over your teeth.
They're going to just put it on like a retainer.
Yeah.
Are you doing that all the time? That'd be annoying. Do those guys, when they have those grills, talk like, well, he's all of a sudden, I got a retainer. Oh, sorry. I think I spit on you a little when we were talking. Hefty Lefty says, is it Long Cut Friday? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Kiss the Cook says NIL does nothing to level the playing field, really. Higher profile players are going to get the larger cuts and filters down from there. If I'm in a D1 smaller conference, my opportunity to cash in is going to be minimal.
Yeah, it's one of the sad things is if you go to the NIL website and see like, what certain players are offering for certain services. I'll appear in a commercial for this much. I'll, voice over this for this much or whatever. I mean, the numbers start big in the millions for guys like Caleb Williams and Arch Manning and so on. And then you start getting to names you don't recognize and like, $10 and I'll be the voice on your voicemail. It's just like, it's stuff like that.
Sort of like Cameo.
And that's $10
seriously.
You get to like
draw your fantasy football order.
Page 10 on that website. And it starts to just be Cameo with college athletes. So that's all it is. Somebody's probably, excited that, oh God, I got $10. That's going to score me like a free burger basically this weekend. That's, it's not everybody getting rich. It's the top guys who are getting rich anyway, getting rich.
Yeah, at least you have a chance.
Yeah.
Cowboy Sparky says, so does NAU football have a chance at beating the Kitty Cats? Well, you know what? We're going to talk about that later because in the next hour, we're going to have the Keon Rose College Football Dance Party. That is coming up shortly. I just want to remind you guys that this hour is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS celebrating 30 years with a special football season offer, up to 30 risk-free bets. Not one, not a couple, 30 risk-free bets called Bet Protect. Get started today at betus.com. Let's take a break. We'll come back, and we got plenty more. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is offering a 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, the perfect offer for crazy plays, like the famous butt fumble. It's the GOAT of embarrassing plays.
Really, remember when you bet me you could do a live show with a GOAT as your co-host and he face-kicked you?
Thankfully, I didn't take the under on that one.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect today. The industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. John, what are you doing? Get in my car. Why are you walking to work?
Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They are draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore.
Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, you're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WINNING for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code WINNING. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WINNING for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WINNING.
It's the middle of summer when your AC stops working and your safe haven becomes unforgiving terrain.
Why must get to water? Honey, call someone to fix our AC unit.
I did, and they're already here.
How long was they out?
Summers in Arizona are brutal. That's why thousands of Arizonans depend on Desert Diamond Air. From 24/7 emergency service to diagnostic checkups to full replacement, Desert Diamond specializes in both residential and commercial HVAC systems with competitive pricing and experience to service and repair all major AC brands. And with federal tax credits up to $2,000, it's a great time to replace your AC system. Go to DesertDiamondAir.com or call 602 602-362-4599. That's 602-362-4599. Or search Desert Diamond Air on your mobile phone today. Greg Clark Automotive trains certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. And online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
Danny Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Now, Keon, I know that you got yourself a gal and all that stuff, but you're also living the life of a roommated man, which means that you feed yourself. And I've been impressed. I've seen you bringing chicken and things you have cooked, little containers into the station. I've walked by and, oh man, that smells good. So props to you for being able to make yourself some grown-up food. But don't be offended when I asked, do you ever eat the Hot Pockets?
Yeah, of course.
Do you like the Hot Pockets? Do you have a secret to making them where they're not lava on the outside and iceberg in the inside?
I'll be 100% honest with you. I never quite figured it out.
So you just accept it?
Yeah. And I'm used to eating hot food.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one of those things. I don't know. So like the fact that it's lava on the outside, if I get to the point where it's really, really hot on the outside, then it might be decently cooked inside, and I'll just have to live with that.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever think of doing what I've always done? Because I even though the box says don't do that, I thaw them out, and then when I cook them, I cook them for a little less time, but then they are evenly cooked when I'm done.
I will have to try that. I've never
Let them
done
just sit on the counter for a little bit before you throw them in the microwave. If you like, later I think I might have some Hot Pockets. You put them on the counter, and then go ahead and cook them up, and they'll at least be even through the whole thing. I'm just saying. Yeah, that was always my secret for that. Randy, do you enjoy the Hot Pockets or?
Not anymore. I used to.
Yeah,
but
well,
not anymore.
There's a new thing coming out. I don't know if you like the Hot Pockets. You'll be ready. Spicy Hot Pockets have arrived. That's right. Spicy Hot Pockets. They've partnered with that, that little video thing, Hot Ones, where they sit there and eat hot wings with the celebrities and stuff. Now Spicy Hot Pockets. Now, I guess they've done some spicy ones before. They had spicy pepperoni Hot Pockets. They had spicy chicken jalapeno, but never this level of spice. This is burn your anus out kind of spice.
Oh my.
Yeah, I try to avoid that. But
talking about ghost pepper?
Kids love that stuff for some reason. And I warn them, all my kids, it's going to burn your anu out. They're like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Like, all right, well, enjoy the ulcers later. There's 4 types, and each features a different hot sauce from the show Hot Ones. And you got spicy garlic chicken and bacon. That's the mildest. But I'm paying attention to that one. I actually might, because I do like some spicy stuff. I don't want something that's going to, make me regret things later when I'm wiping. But there's 2 other. There's 2 other that are 5 out of a 10. Now, the spicy garlic chicken and bacon, that's a 2 out of the 10 on the heat scale. They have 2 that are 5 out of 10, smoky green chili cheesesteak and hot habanero sausage and pepperoni. And so then there's one that is just a 10 out of 10, though. This is the one where if I were a young man, there'd probably be a testosterone fueled competition to see if I could eat it. I ate all sorts of jalapenos and hot stuff when I was 18, 19, 20. My dumb buddies, I bet you can't eat this. Crunch. Then you see how many you could eat, and then later you really regret it. But the Hot Pocket one, the fiery hot pepperoni version, has a sauce called the Last Dab, and that is a 10 out of 10. got Carolina Reapers, and even hotter type of pepper called Pepper X.
Oh, man.
On the show, it's the last sauce that
Oh,
the people
man.
eat while they're sitting there. So
Oh,
you'd only
my
get the
God.
fiery hot version, though, through delivery app called GoPuff. And I don't know. They're not available in all areas. So, well, that's dumb. Why would you make something that I can't go and buy at the store? Not like I was going to get that one anyway. So, but I am intrigued by the spicy garlic chicken and bacon hot pocket. That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, some of those middle levels look like they taste pretty good.
Yeah.
My wife will never let me eat any of this. You know, the last time I saw a Tostino pizza roll is like 10 years ago. Man, I love those things. Those
I do
pizza
too.
rolls.
Oh my God. I used to just eat the whole bag. Just
why wouldn't you?
Just on a Saturday night, pick a movie.
Yeah.
Get a bag of pizza rolls. That thing's done.
Oh, yeah.
As a single man, it did occur to me how sad my life was. I'm like, but I eat these.
I didn't even regret it. It was so good.
Well, I never regretted the pizza rolls, but when I realized there's nobody there trying to stop me, you know that you're alone. You're alone. Big George says, Jeffrey, I got a Mad Grill at my house. Yeah, but it's not the same kind of grill we're talking about. He says, yeah, it's a charcoal Weber grill. I use it to grill steaks and burgers and hot dogs. No, the grill is the little dental appliance that is cool looking with some diamonds in it. Historian says, Jeffrey, don't even try channeling Larry the Leisure Suit. They won't look well. Larry Leisure Suit had a grill? I don't know what you're talking about, man. Kiss the Cook says, if he was still alive, imagine trying Leon Spinks with a grill. Larry, I don't think there'd be a connecting thing in the middle. Leon Spinks had he had a tunnel, like it looked like the Roadrunner had painted it, and the Coyote tried to drive through it. That's how big the space was in between Leon Spinks's teeth, the boxer. I don't know. He probably could have pulled it off, actually. Hefty Lefty says, the last dab has good flavor. You've had that stuff? He says, but it's incredibly hot. Have a few versions of it in my fridge.
Oh, he has just the actual sauce.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Because once you can take it,
does it really add a special kind of flavor to your food? Because I'm sorry, I can eat hot stuff. I can survive hot stuff. I can win contests with hot stuff. But I've never felt like it has added, that missing something to my burrito. Hey, that little je ne sais quoi to my quesadilla. It's just like, that's just doesn't, it's like, but it doesn't taste good.
For some people who get used to it. I mean,
you're lying to yourself if you say, it tastes good. No, it doesn't.
How does that taste good?
I don't know. I'm not the person to necessarily ask, because I eat real spicy food all the time, but I don't know.
And you think it tastes good?
What my limits are. I mean,
have you had a Carolina pepper?
I don't know. What I do know is that used to have fried rice when I was a kid that my mom used to make. And she would get this pepper from Guyana that just, why was she feeding that to children is really what I want to know.
Yeah.
But over time, I got used to it. So it's not something that I think, it destroys the entire flavor of anything else, because after a while you can taste the other things too. If, you have a high enough tolerance.
He says,
yeah,
after a while,
I wouldn't have chosen to eat like that. My mom is Guyanese. That's how she cooks.
We got to get her on the phone and explore whether or not that was toughening you up or child abuse.
That was just called making food.
Dear God. Well, you don't have to put that in the
You don't have to, but that was how she ate. That was how her mom ate. Like, that's,
by God, that's how you're going to eat.
Yeah. And then she would do this, the horrible thing. She'd leave the damn pepper in there. So you'd get the rice and you'd start poking through with your fork to try and see if you're the one that got it. Oh, you think you're in the clear, and the next thing you know, you got it. I've been eating food with her sometimes, and then she'd just start crying. And you just goes, what, is the food that good? Nope. She got the pepper, but she didn't say anything. It was just tears.
Even her. Let me ask you,
why do you want to do that with your
food?
food?
The food taste better or worse without it?
You notice when it's not there.
And you
But
wish
you
it
notice
were?
when it's not there.
Do you wish it were there, that it was there or weren't there?
Like I said, after a while. I mean, it's not, I'm not advocating that everybody eat the spiciest thing imaginable. I'm simply saying that's my experience with it is, after a while, kind of sucks when it's not there.
Lost Toby says, I used to be able to eat all kinds of spiced food, and after my second bout of COVID, it destroys me. See, that's interesting because originally with COVID, everybody was losing
Couldn't taste.
But there have been a couple people that I know, I'm not going to say who they are because I don't know if I'm allowed to, but a couple of people I know have said, actually, it's the opposite. I can smell stuff like super sensitive sniffer. Like they can tell if you had a drink 3 days ago kind of thing. I'm not even kidding. And so, yeah, I imagine, Lost Toby. So did you end up with the super sensitive sniffer? I'll tell you what, if I had a super sensitive sniffer, I would never get on public transportation again. Oh, Lord.
It would be hard.
So bad. Anyway, so if you're into the Hot Pockets, there you got some new spicy flavors coming if you want, I guess. Kiss and Cook says Chan Pen's level 5 Thai wings are freaking crazy hot. Don't know what you're saying, but I believe you. And you put the word Thai in, then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, we get it. It's hot. It's hot. You give me a glass of milk, I could eat any Thai food and enjoy it. I do enjoy the Thai food. My wife loves it way more than I do. And it's like one of those things where I have to admit, we'll sit there in the Thai restaurant and they're like, okay, how hot for you? I'll be like, mild. And they'll say, how hot for you? She'll say like, damn hot. Like,
it's whatever the hottest.
Here, honey,
one.
let me hold your purse.
in a Thai restaurant, whenever they give you 1 to whatever their Thai hot is, that's what I always eat.
The hottest of the hot?
Yeah.
Okay, so because that's just what you
that's just what I'm used to the point where one time I felt like I was kind of broken because I was eating and some of my friends, they were sweating while eating it, and I was like, this could be hotter, to be honest.
I guess my rule is if it adds flavor and it doesn't, if it's not just for hot sake, okay, well, I get that. But sometimes it feels like the level of heat and hotness they put into some of these things just doesn't do you any good. It's like, how does this make the food better?
I question it. I like when I have wings, I don't get the hottest imaginable wings. I just get whatever like a regular hot would be, and I'm good with that.
Lost Toby says, I lost my taste that time when I got the COVID, and then it came back. And it came back like that. Smells mess with me now. Used to not be bothered by the smell of trash or crap, and now I'll gag if it's too much. My nose turned into a little bitch, he says.
No, your nose turned into a super sniffer. It picks up everything.
Yeah, I'd say that's a superpower now.
Yeah,
a superpower you wish you didn't have.
With a very big downside.
Kind of like when a movie where somebody's like, oh, I can hear everybody's thoughts. And then about 3 days later, dear God, I wish I didn't hear everybody's thoughts.
I need to be able to turn this off at some point.
So I like some spicy, but I'll take that number 2 spicy, please. 888-368-1580. So we celebrated the fact that the Dodgers lost last night and that the Detroit Tigers beat the Yankees last night. And that's even better because it was the Tigers. So that felt nice. And it was good that Team USA won again. And it's funny because it was still, I think, do we consider this a blowout? Where's my blowout sheet? I got a sheet of
if you're talking about Spain, no, it was a close one.
No. Yeah, I'm talking about Montenegro, and they it wasn't that close. I mean, it was tied at 48 in the third quarter, but in the end of it, it was 85-73. So that's a 12-point difference. I'm trying to find my sheet to see.
It's just that they started so slow.
Where's my?
They started slow and they struggled through the whole game, and then it was the last part of the game where USA came on. So.
Where's my, I used to have this written down.
Yeah, you had the blowout chart.
Where's my blowout chart? I've lost my blowout chart, but I think
maybe it blew away.
It close to counts, I guess. I think 20 or 15 or 20, I think was the blowout, but whatever. So this is that game where you've just cruised through a couple of teams and now you're just like, kind of just doing your thing. I mean, Anthony Edwards, he did what he needed to do. Austin Reeves was out there, whatever. It's not like they were going to lose this game, but yeah, it didn't look great there for a while.
No, it didn't. I do give Anthony Edwards a lot of credit. He just simply would not let them lose. Every time they needed a play, he stole an inbound pass and dunked it. I mean, it was just that dude's big time. I really love watching him play, especially for Team USA. But they're small, and so that sometimes they end up against some of these teams that are a little bit bigger, and they have to sort of redo a little bit of what they do well.
Well, it was Mikal Bridges' three-pointer that helped tie it up and spark him in the right direction. So I think you're right about that. But nothing to worry about yet. You know what I mean? Nothing to worry about. This always happens. There's always one game where everybody's like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, no,
and then it's
they're
going to
be fun.
All right, guys, that is 1 hour down and 2 to go. We're going to have college football dance party with Keon Rose in the next hour. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-736-6158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-736-6158. That's 800-736-6158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-736-6158. Again, 800-736-6158.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
We all know driving hammered gets you nailed, but did you also know driving high is a DUI? I'm Officer Badalucco with the Gilbert Police Department. Anything that impairs your driving makes you dangerous on the road. If you feel different, you drive different, and driving high is illegal. Be smart with marijuana use. Get the facts at drivinghighaz.com and spread the word with #HighDUI. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
It is Raymond and Austin on All-Star Sports Radio. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is celebrating their 30th year. The can't miss offer. 125% sign-up bonus and up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, and you can only get it from BetUS.com. An awesome offer for this season's wild plays.
Nice, like that infamous tuck rule back in 2002.
Tuck rule, worst call in sports.
Man, you're like the old lady in the Titanic. It's been 21 years.
Hey, I'll be king of the world with Bet Protect. It's like having 30 get out of any tuck rule shenanigans in my back pocket.
But your back pocket is usually empty, bro.
Keep your shoulder pads on. Is there anything else about BetUS you haven't told me?
The less you know, the better. BetUS has live in-game betting, a 200% crypto sign-up bonus, and online casino for some blackjack.
You've been holding back.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect this football season. Visit BetUS.com for the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus and up to 30 risk-free bets. Or give them a call at 1-800-MY-BETUS to get started.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And again, want to remind everybody, if you're just joining us, it is September 1st. Pay your rent. Don't forget to pay your rent. Simple as that. All right. So we got a lot of football to talk about, and it's not just NFL. It's going to be some college football, but that's going to be here in a little bit. Before we get to that, though, I just want to, I feel like I want to spend some time with David Ortiz. I want to actually sit down with him and say, I don't know, maybe he needs Dr. Phil. I don't know. So you got to think about who your friends are. I don't know who. It seems like a lot of stuff happens to him. Seems to be. Remember when he got shot? Oh, Big Poppy was standing there, and this guy comes up behind him in the bar, blam, just shoots him point blank. He survives it, and you're like, okay, you probably don't need to go to that bar anymore. You know, maybe don't go places where you get shot in the back. That's all I'm just saying. You know, I don't know what that was about. I don't know why they wanted to harm David Ortiz. So now the story comes out that Big Poppy is a victim of extortion. He has been hacked. And they said, if you don't want all the contents of your phone leaked out into the universe and exposed, you best pay us some money. And so that makes you kind of wonder, what the hell's in the phone? None of my business. I mean, raise your hand if you ever want your phone hacked and exposed to the world. No hands will go up. Zero hands, except for like a guy with a flip phone. He's gonna be like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
No problem here.
There's almost no information on it. Yeah.
You got the burner, or which one do you got? Yeah. So he says that I'm a victim of extortion, and the criminals know that everybody knows. So it's just like, nah, well, whatever. Send us the money, put it in some crypto. Here's what you do, or else everybody gets to read everything in David Ortiz's phone. Everybody gets to see every picture in David Ortiz's phone. Everybody gets to see every picture in David Ortiz's phone. What a nightmare.
It does sound like that. I don't know. I don't know how he's going to get out of this one. I mean, do you want to pay the ransom? It's not like, or pay the extortion fee. It's not like there's a guarantee that if you send them the money, they won't do that anyway.
So I guess he said his fear of what could be exposed out there if the stuff got out, he ain't thrilled about it. He's a little worried about it. And he said that authorities in the United States, the Dominican Republic are working to catch those people who did this. So makes you a little bit, I can't help but be a little curious, you know. Can I just be honest? If you were to hack my phone, there is nothing interesting enough. You would not make any money off of me. You know, you'd get a bunch of damn dog photos. I have so many pictures of the Bebo and Buddy together because they crack me up, and it's funny because Bebo always looks like he's having the time of his life, and Buddy looks like, can I just go home now? He's not quite come around to the puppy being in his face every single moment of the day. So I might pay the ransom so that I get my pictures back, but I don't care if you release everything in my phone to everyone out there in the internet. I mean, I'm not that interesting.
Yeah, but I guess if you're David Ortiz, I mean, even say he's not interesting at all, there's still going to be, pictures of maybe family members that you don't want everybody having those pictures. Or
that was the nicest way of saying penis that I've ever heard in my life.
Well,
pictures of your penis.
I said if he was boring, if
you could be boring and have a picture of your penis.
But I'm saying if there was nothing like that on his phone, if you have addresses, like your mom say, oh, well, what's your brother's address? You're not going to want that stuff out there.
Banking
information, saved passwords. Like, say that there's nothing actually interesting on the phone to most people. There's still going to be a bunch of information you don't want the world to see.
I do zero banking and zero of that kind of information through my phone. Just out of that, it's like, what it always strikes me is, oh, this is a trusted website. It's a trusted whatever. Yeah, everybody gets hacked. Everybody gets hacked. I don't trust none of them with the phone. 0% on the phone. If that is a weak spot in my security, I ain't using that for nothing. Banking?
I don't do anything that matters on the phone.
But he might. And so, does he want his financial information out there?
Right.
Or if he was texting his doctor about his health, like there's just going to be things you don't want the entire world to see.
Or he's getting naughty pics from his girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean that's the other extreme of it. Is
If you were getting pictures from a woman, you wouldn't be too upset if that got it in the public.
no.
If your naughty pics were going the other direction, then maybe you got a thing.
I think it's bad either way, just because if I don't know what his marital status is, but if
he's very much married.
Okay, so if the naughty pics were coming from a woman, not his wife, sure, the whole world knowing that might not be the worst thing. His wife knowing that might be not at all good.
See, that's the last picture on my phone right there. And there's hundreds of pictures that are like that right there. Bebo looking cute, Buddy wishing he would leave. That's pretty much the entirety of my phone. What's on your phone, Randy? Like grill recipes and rubs and stuff like that?
I mean, fun pics of my family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess I don't want my personal life, being sold to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to pay a ransom for it, though. I don't know. I guess it depends, I guess. Big Poppy, says Lost Dobie, has all the roids list. Did Big Poppy have roids? Did he do the roids?
Well, some people speculate, but I don't think so.
He was never found to have taken anything.
Well, whatever the case, I want to sit down with him and say, hey, man, maybe we need to talk about some things in your life, about maybe hanging out with better people. Maybe get some of that stuff off your phone.
Yeah.
And, we almost lost the guy. He got shot. So I think he needs a new circle of friends. We could be his new circle of friends.
We could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd
be happy to help him out. I mean, I don't know what language he speaks, and I know he needs a translator to speak English because everything about this was translated by somebody.
No, he doesn't need a translator. He speaks better English than most of us.
He's been on MLB Network. I think, but if the interview was done in Spanish, then someone had to translate it.
No, it said on the story here he was speaking through a translator. Maybe he's lost a step with his English. I don't know. If we don't need a translator, it makes it much easier. Historian says Jeffrey, Leisure Suit Larry was a computer game from the 80s. Oh, I know that, but he didn't have a grill. I remember Leisure Suit Larry, but the sleazy lounge lizard guy in the video game. And was it actually the 80s or the 90s? King of Kitten says, hey, Keon, would you rather see Louisville and Georgia Tech at Mercedes-Benz Stadium or the Beyonce tour?
Louisville and Georgia Tech.
Here's a free ticket. Go to Beyonce because that's a more expensive ticket. You don't get a chance to see Beyonce all the time.
Which is true. And I hear it's a great show.
I mean, the first instinct, go to the game, right? But you got to think it through. That's Beyonce, man.
No, that's a good point. That is a good point. But Louisville and Georgia Tech is going to be a good game. And I like the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's a damn good stadium.
Go to the game, then. Go to the game. Yeah, don't listen to me. I don't know. I mean, I'm never going to go to Beyonce. I'm never going to go to Taylor Swift. A, it's expensive as hell. B, I don't really care. But they are amazing performers, and I'm sure this would be like you take somebody you love, it'd be the best night of their life. I don't know. Just saying. Don't count out Beyonce is all I'm saying. Lost Toby says Big Poppy he tested positive, but it was inconclusive. Which is it? Positive or inconclusive? Positively inconclusive or inconclusively positive?
And there you go.
It's just inconclusive, as in the test said it was positive, but also the nature of the test was that it wasn't sure if it was a false positive or not. So
we need to get better at this testing thing.
Can't tell.
Kiss the Cook says, I can't eat anything spicy. I can just put it in my mouth and I'll hiccup for like 30 minutes. So no, I ain't eating that Chanpin's wings ever. All right. So one more thing before we start talking some football. I know we're all anxious. A lot of people want to know who you've got picked for the rest of week one. But I do want to talk about this. I'm trying to sort through this with my brain. maybe you can help. Really, really degenerate gamblers will gamble on anything, right?
Yes.
Just anything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have seen it.
I'll take that bet.
But why? There's some things where you're like, that's the thing that brought you down. That's the thing that gets you arrested. It just seems. Well, I'm gonna give you the headline. This is in Boston. 2 charged in Milford backyard volleyball gambling ring. So in the backyard, somebody has a concrete slab and they've got a volleyball net. So it's not even like sandy beach volleyball. It's just volleyball, like, they did in Nebraska for the 90,000 people. Well, here it says 2 people are facing charges after police said they ran a large scale illegal gambling ring centered around backyard volleyball matches at somebody's house.
Just
showing
in a
up at the
backyard
house
somewhere.
I saw the pictures. We were just kind of casual, just kind of sitting there, but evidently betting wildly on this. And so the owner of the house, he was charged lots of stuff, and I guess this is something this guy started small, and then he's like, oh no, there's money here, so he paves over his entire backyard and turned it into 2 full-size volleyball courts.
Huh.
And the gambling was just over the games.
Just feels like that's like betting on pickup basketball at the gym. Like that's just a bunch of guys.
And so the neighborhood got upset. There were cars and lights and noise and beer bottles and yelling, screaming kids all night, like a big carnival, they said. Yeah, just very loud. They'd take up parking. People couldn't get out of their driveways. So that brought attention to it. So then they show up there and they're like, holy God, there's a lot of gambling going on here. And so they were like charged misuse of property, this thing. So tons of charges for all sorts of people. But volleyball? I get it. They get the dog fights, the cock fights, the, other things.
Well, thank goodness
billiards,
it wasn't anything like that.
This is
The
just
thing is that
volleyball. It's very wholesome.
There's already volleyball out there to bet on. Like if you really want to and you really want to find it, I'm sure you can find somewhere to bet on actual volleyball players.
Well,
Not
I don't on FanDuel. I don't see the volleyball.
I mean, it's probably
betting.
going to be on one of the offshore sites or something like that. They just put everything there.
Well,
But all I'm saying is, as opposed to a bunch of randos in your backyard, that seems like it makes more sense to me.
So, then they took a look at the books and they made about $1 million last year. $1 million backyard volleyball gambling ring. Of course, they sold alcohol too, but it's $1 million.
There's still enough people to make $1 million worth of bet money and alcohol money. That's still a lot of people coming in to watch just backyard volleyball.
I just feel like I'm not using my property to its fullest potential when I see a story like this.
Clearly.
Lost
None of us
Toby
are.
says Big Papi Ortiz, you see, tested positive for banned substance during ostensibly anonymous survey testing in 2003. Right now, once Lost Toby uses the word ostensibly, I know he's copied and pasted this. It says a year Major League Baseball and the MLBPA viewed as a gateway to performance-enhancing drug testing with penalties. Yet, in 2009, multiple reports from the New York Times and Sports Illustrated revealed details of the 03 results that were intended to remain private. That 104 players tested positive, that long-suspected Sammy Sosa came up positive, as did the transcendental Alex Rodriguez, until the slow drip finally made its way to Boston. Where did you copy and paste that from?
Because there's a story around that paragraph you sent us that
you know what?
A lot of the sentence make no sense without the rest of the context.
Randy, I think we need a 2-minute penalty for Lost Toby for plagiarism. I think it is time to add that to the penalties.
2 minutes for plagiarism.
Yeah, a 2-minute minor for plagiarism, 5 minutes if you do it again. So anyway, 888-368-1580. So are you ready for the Keon Rose college football dance party?
Who, me?
Well, I'm talking to Keon. He's the one who gives us all the information and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm not saying we're doing it right now. I'm just asking if
absolutely
he's ready.
Yeah, been looking forward to it.
A-Wings22 says Big Poppy's nickname is the Big Steroid. Oh, it's not. It's Big Poppy.
Only the people that hate him.
Yeah. Lost Toby says, I cited my source, USA Today.
Where is it in there?
Yeah, you said New York Times and Sports Illustrated. I don't see the USA Today, which except right there. But that's fine. No,
Maybe we should instill a 5-minute for libel and slander.
Okay, 5 minute for liability, slander. I also want inappropriate touching.
There it is.
And look, you didn't cite your sources in APA style. That's always the teachers take off for that.
That's a game misconduct.
I want illegal animal husbandry. Now, I keep in mind, I'm not insinuating that Lost Toby has done things inappropriately with animals. I'm just saying illegal animal husbandry. You can look that up in the statutes. That just means that possibly he didn't have a permit for something.
Right.
So again, don't get that. It's not supposed to be something that is torrid or nasty, but I do believe it has to be put on the list of charges, Randy.
Yes, I agree.
So now, what do we have now? 5 minutes for him, or is it 7 minutes? How does that work? Because he had a 2 minute, now he's got a 5 minute.
10 minutes. 10 minutes with all that.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll take 3 minutes off for good behavior, so it's 7 minutes.
7 minutes. All right.
Yeah, and I think a minute has already gone by, so 6 minutes for Lost Toby.
6 minutes.
Yeah. Did I do my math right?
You are asking the wrong people.
Let me take my shoes off. I'll count.
How about by time we come back from the commercial break, we'll probably have forgotten all this anyway.
All right.
I think that'll work. I think that'll work pretty nicely there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a commercial break, and we come back. It'll be time for Keon Rose's college football dance party. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
When a cold comes on strong, knock it out with Vicks DayQuil Severe for max strength daytime relief. Just one dose of Vicks DayQuil Severe starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. Power through your day with Vicks DayQuil Severe, the daytime non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, 9 to none medicine. Use as directed.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All-Star Sports Radio. Celebrating their 30th year, our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is going big.
That's right, Austin. Sports bettors can win a new truck, get the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus, and even get up to 30 risk-free bets.
Touchdown. BetUS also has a 150% casino sign-up bonus.
Blackjack, now you're talking, Austin. They also have live dealers and live betting on sports, including racetrack.
Get started today at BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Greg Clark Automotive trained certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. And online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
Marijuana may be legal in Arizona, but driving impaired is not.
As a police officer here in Arizona, I know DUIs apply to more than just alcohol. Anything that impairs driving makes you dangerous on the road. If you feel different, you drive different, and driving impaired can get you a DUI.
Get the facts at drivinghighaz.com and spread the word with the hashtag HighDUI. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All-Star Sports Radio. Celebrating their 30th year, our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is going big.
That's right, Austin. Sports bettors can win a new truck, get the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus, and even get up to 30 risk-free bets.
Touchdown. BetUS also has a 150% casino sign-up bonus.
Blackjack, now you're talking, Austin. They also have live dealers and live betting on sports, including racetrack.
Get started today at BetUS.com, where the game begins.
It's the sound of the fight song, the excitement of the rivalry. It's the unbelievable upsets. It's the Heisman hopefuls.
Oh my God, Davis is going to run it all the way back.
It's the national rankings. It's college football. The Sooners right down the field. Tune in each Saturday for the college football game of the week. Listen for all the action, drama, and excitement on your home for college football. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Steady Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Let's take a look at what we got going on this weekend. Well, tonight there is a high school football game. Highland is at Basha, so that happens tonight at 7 from the AIA. Then on Sunday, Randy, it's the MRN Cookout Southern 500. It's kind of a long race, actually.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's one of the crown jewels of NASCAR.
Okay, well, we're going to show you our crown jewels on Sunday at 2 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic.
We're not doing anything. No.
Well, we're airing the race, the crown jewel.
Airing the race.
Yeah,
we are not doing it.
MRN share with you our jewels.
No. Mm-mm.
We should have made that a promo. I don't know why we didn't.
No. Remember what HR said. No, we can't do that.
Well, I know what I say. It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for something we've all been waiting for. That's right. The college football season finally starts this week because we don't acknowledge what happens last week. But here he is right now to give you all the 411 on what's about to happen in college football. It's time for Keon Rose's college football dance party.
We've already had some action in week one, Keon. Notre Dame Navy was last weekend. Notre Dame 42, Navy 3. Then last night, Florida, Utah. Utah defending their upset last year of Florida, 24-11. So let's move to this weekend. And the first game on the docket's number 12, Tennessee, taking on Virginia. What do you got? It's 12 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, this game is going to be a tough game for Virginia. I know that they're going to come into the game, obviously, emotional. There was a shooting last November 2022. Some of the football players, so there were 3 of them actually that actually died as a result of that. So they're going to come in emotionally and try to pull off the upset. It would be amazing for them. It would be amazing for that school. But, they've got a lot to go up against. They're going up against the Tennessee defense that plays incredibly fast. They blitz a lot. Tony Muskett, the quarterback, I like him. He came from, I think, Monmouth as a transfer, threw 51 touchdowns over there. But I don't know that that's going to necessarily be enough when you look at what Tennessee has been able to do offensively throughout the last year. Hendon Hooker, he's not going to be the quarterback for the Vols anymore. He is a Detroit Lion in the NFL. Joe Milton III is going to take over for him. Looked pretty damn good in the Orange Bowl last year when they beat Clemson. So, he threw 3 touchdowns in that game. I expect him to have a really good night against Virginia and that defense. And I don't know if Virginia necessarily has the horses to hang with Tennessee.
All right, I'd like to call upset alert because every year the college football gets it wrong with Iowa. This year they've got them ranked 25th, and they're at home this week against Utah State. I think Utah State comes in and then beats their ass. What do you got to say?
I don't know if Utah State is going to be able to beat them, but this 23.5 point line, have you watched Iowa play football? Yeah. Scoring points is kind of not the thing that they do. It's just not. Do I think that Utah State's going to come in and beat their ass? No, but do I think Utah State's going to come in and make them sweat a whole lot? Yeah, I do. I think that that's going to be, a thing that they're going to have to figure out what to do, because there's going to be a bunch of teams where, the spread is huge, but the team themselves isn't actually known for being an offensive juggernaut. I would say that that's true in this game with Iowa.
All right, so moving right along here, the next game on the docket that I'm interested in is Coach Prime and his Colorado Buffaloes going to Fort Worth to take on the 17th ranked TCU. TCU has an average offensive line weight of 330 pounds. How is Colorado going to fare against number 17 TCU?
They're going to struggle. And then I think, unfortunately for Deion Sanders, his son, Shadur Sanders, is the quarterback, and he's going to be It's going to be tough sledding for him. Okay, it just will be. Those boys up front in TCU are huge. And TCU, they're just going to continue what they have been doing. They have been very successful in the Big 12. Went to the Big 12 championship game, lost a close game last year, but still made the college football playoff. Some people disagreed with that, but the fact of the matter is that they were there, and when they were there, they represented themselves very well. So I don't think that Colorado is necessarily going to do a whole lot in this game. But it's still being advertised as a high profile game because that's the Deion Sanders effect. He shows up and he makes eyeballs watch whatever game is the game that he's involved in.
It's going off high noon on Fox on Saturday. And now number 11, Texas, is at home at DKR there in Texas. Rice is coming in. Rice is like the sacrificial lamb. Texas is going to just walk all over them. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. I mean, it's that this game is a tradition wherein Rice usually gets their asses kicked. That's just what it is. It's one of those things when President Kennedy was talking about why do we go to the moon? He asked in the question, why does Rice play Texas? Because we can. That is how long Rice has been getting their ass kicked by Texas. This is a really good Texas team. They're the preseason pick to win the Big 12. We'll see whether or not they live up to those expectations, but I expect Quinn Ewers, who is considered one of the top quarterbacks in next year's draft, to pick up where he left off, and he played some really good football last year, and I expect him to make another leap.
All right, an interesting game. Number 3, Ohio State traveling to Indiana, Memorial Stadium there at 3:30 on Saturday to take on Indiana. Ohio State should win, but what do you see in your crystal ball?
Yeah, Ohio State's going to win this game by like 20, 25 points. I don't know if you give them the full 30, just because Indiana can be a scrappy team. But when you look at the Buckeyes and what they've been able to do just last season, 11 games, they won and 8-1 in the Big Ten. That is a well-oiled machine, and they're going to continue to put up points offensively. Marvin Harrison Jr. is the talk of the university. He's the guy that a lot of people are looking forward to not just be a high-level draft pick in the NFL, but someone who could potentially be a Heisman dark horse candidate because he's going to put up video game numbers.
All right, moving along here. Number 10, Washington will be at home at the Alaska Airlines Field at Husky Stadium. You notice all these names are kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
Boise State is coming in to face number 10 Washington. What do you see in this game, Keon?
Yeah, I think Washington's going to win the game. They were so good last year. I thought Michael Penix Jr., who is another top quarterback to kind of keep your eye on, he is just amazing. He had 4,600 yards or a little over that last year passing, which is the university record. And he's going to build on that. I do think that, they're going to have to figure out what to do in the running game. Cameron Davis is gone, 13 touchdowns last year, so they're going to have to figure out how to replace that. But I think Dylan Johnson will be fine. Boise State, they're going to obviously try and make things hard for Michael Penix Jr., but he's so hard to defend. He's got, a big arm, and of course he's incredibly mobile, the lefty passer. So I don't know what Boise State's going to be able to do to slow down Washington enough to win this game, but I actually think it's going to be a really good game and potentially a close one.
So the next game I want to talk about here is we count down on Keon Rose's dance party here, a college football dance party. West Virginia used to be a storied football franchise, but now they're unranked and they're heading to Beaver Stadium in Pennsylvania to take on Penn State. They're in Happy Valley. Penn State ranks 7 in the country. What do you see for this game?
I see for this game what has happened to Penn State and West Virginia back in the days when they used to be rivals and play each other before Penn State made the jump to the Big Ten. A lot of Penn State beating a lot of West Virginia. The Penn State is, I think, moving in a better direction than they were last year. They're starting Drew Allar at quarterback. I think that guy's going to be fantastic. He's 6'5". He's enormous. Got a big time arm. And in the few snaps he played last year, he was very, very impressive. And he's not by himself. He's there with a couple of running backs, Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen. Those guys are going to be supporting him. West Virginia is going to struggle, I think, a lot for a couple of reasons. One, they're just not as talented. But two, they haven't even figured out who their starting quarterback is. They believe that they have two starters, which, as we've said many times on the show, means they have no starters at all.
All right. Hey, Randy, hold on. Bruno
Yeah.
Baller has a question. He says, is Rice University named after somebody's name or the grain? I actually do know the answer. Do you know the answer?
I
Is
do
it the
not.
grain or is it a person?
It's a person, but I
think it's a person.
can't remember who.
William Marsh Rice, which that doesn't sound real. Rice Marsh, you know what I'm saying? Marsh.
Yeah.
William Marsh,
Marsh
Rice.
Rice.
And actually, it was a businessman in Massachusetts who had made his fortune in real estate, railroad development, and cotton trading in the state of Texas. Well, you know what that means. And so probably not a great person. But anyway, Rice decided to charter a free tuition educational institute in Houston, bearing his name to be created upon his death, earmarking most of his estates towards funding the project. So that's who it's named
Very cool.
after.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, moving right along here, Keon. The Battle of Carolina. North Carolina travels to South Carolina at the Bank of America Stadium. Number 21, North Carolina, looking to get their season off right, but they started hot last year and ended with a thud. Spencer Rattler, still the quarterback at South Carolina. Who do you have in this matchup?
It's going to be a really good one, but for probably none of the right reasons. Just defensively, North Carolina has been a sieve. They do not stop anybody. Gene Chizik, who is the nicest person I have to roast, just led a defense last year that gave up like 30 points a game. Like, you just can't have that. That doesn't work on any level. They struggled. But their quarterback, Drake May, is the guy that everyone thinks is going to be the second quarterback taken in next year's draft. I like him. I think that he's everything that you want in a quarterback, and he led them to a lot of wins offensively. And they're going to need all of those points because they don't stop anybody. And I don't know how much tougher that's going to be for them. Phil Longo was their offensive coordinator. He's a really good offensive coordinator. He's now up at Wisconsin, your offensive coordinator over there with Luke Fickell. So I don't know how they're going to play the game now, but if they're going to play to Drake May's strengths, that's pushing the ball downfield, that's taking a lot of deep shots, and that's using his mobility when those things aren't available. Spencer Rattler, I like the way that he started playing better last year. It seemed like he was figuring the game out. It was starting to slow down for him. He wasn't forcing passes where they didn't belong, which was a big issue for him. But still, South Carolina turned the ball over way too many times last year. 27 turnovers for the Gamecocks. That's absolutely horrific. So this game's going to be close, but close because North Carolina can't defend anybody and South Carolina can't stop turning over the damn football. But I do think that the better quarterback is going to win this one, and I think that's Drake May and North Carolina.
All right, quickly, two more games. We've got LSU traveling to take on FSU. This should be the game of the week, in my opinion. Who do you see in this matchup?
I agree with you, by the way. I do think that this is going to be the game of the week. You know why? Because it was the game of the week last year. They played each other to start the season. That was the most exciting week one matchup last season, with Florida State winning the game on a last-second field goal block. It was an awesome game, back and forth, up and down. But I do think that LSU is better. I do think that Jaden Daniels over the season, he improved, became a more consistent quarterback, especially a guy throwing from the pocket, which would have been nice if he was ever that when he was here. But regardless, he played really well last season. I think that they should be able to build on that. LSU is returning a bunch of guys. And that's always good in college football when you can have that continuity moving from one year to the next. So even though I do think that Florida State's actually going to be really good this year, I'm going to take the Bayou Bengals.
All right, last game on the docket. It's happening down in Tucson at Arizona Stadium. Great tickets still available for $8.
Miracle. We need a miracle.
NAU taking on the Kitty Cats of U of A. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, I think that Arizona's going to win the game. It's
come on.
I asked you for a miracle.
I understand you want the miracle, But the fact is that NAU is trying to, they're shuffling around quarterbacks right now, trying to really figure out who the starter is going to be. And even though you're going up against a Arizona defense that is just god awful, they give up like 36.5 points a game. The fact of the matter is they've gotten better every single year under Jed Fish. They were 1-11 year one. They were 5-7 year two. Now they're going into year three. Jaden DeLar is a really good quarterback. And they've got an offense that scores around 30 points a game. I understand that NAU does have some dudes, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Aloy Kwete is one of their top defensive linemen. He's got 26.5 career sacks. So I expect him to put up numbers this year. But I don't know if it's going to be enough to stop Arizona and what they've managed to build so far when the Lumberjacks don't really have a quarterback that they've named and that they feel great about.
That's just disappointing. That's like, today's just been all about disappointment. While you guys were doing this, I called the tinnitus helpline, but there wasn't any answer. It just kept ringing. And I'm sitting there, how am I ever going to, and then this, now I got to deal with this?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I got more bad news for you, Jeffco. I think U of A is going to be pretty strong this year. Sorry.
Just keep it to yourself. You could just keep that. Probably just keep that to yourself.
The college football segment.
You can keep it to yourself. You didn't have to even say that.
I don't want you to be disappointed.
I'm already disappointed.
Expect it.
No, I just, just maybe I didn't need that going into a 3-day weekend.
Expecting it.
I don't expect it. I don't expect nothing. It was kind of hoping NAU would come down here. The mighty Lumberjacks going out here. Ken Dirtavanos, is he still doing that? Is he still doing the call? Ken Dirtavanos, the Lumberjack Radio Network.
I think he moved on to bigger and better pastures.
He died. 888-368-1580. I'm guessing. I don't know.
It is the biggest and best pasture after life, I guess.
I suppose that depends on how that goes. Huh? Big George says, wow, wasn't even close. Jeffrey completely dominated this inaugural season opening edition of Keon Rose's college football dance party with his stellar knowledge drop of William Marsh Rice. You don't get that from Randy or Keon. Keon was second. Sorry, Randy was third. Thank you, George. Appreciate that.
I still love you, Big George.
You can't win the college football dance.
I just won the hell out of it. And it was just declared.
Cannot.
You guys are just sore losers.
Not only not a sore loser, there's nothing to lose.
Well, now you know how I feel about the cancer walk.
Oh, don't even start. Don't even start. All right, listen, when we take a break, we come back, we're going to talk some NFL. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All-Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is offering a 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, the perfect offer for crazy plays, like the famous butt fumble. It's the GOAT of embarrassing plays.
Really, remember when you bet me you could do a live show with a GOAT as your co-host and he face-kicked you?
Thankfully, I didn't take the under on that one.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect today. The industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Hi, this is Dr. Brad Schaefer. As a podiatrist, I can tell you no two people's feet are alike, which is why I recommend Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. They're customized for your feet, so you get a unique solution your feet really need, not just a one-size-fits-all insole. They're clinically proven to provide pain relief for achy feet, knees, lower back, plantar fasciitis, and heels. Take the Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotics assessment in Walmart today, now in the foot care aisle.
Do you know about 211 Arizona? It's a free service to connect you with resources anywhere in Arizona. Housing assistance and eviction prevention, transportation and ride services, healthcare benefits, food resources, and even utility bill support. Talk to a live operator in English or Spanish 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Just dial 211 or visit 211arizona.org. Get connected, get answers, and get the help you need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
If it's local,
We talk about it.
1580 and 99.3.
The Fanatics.
Today, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Oh, brother. You know, we don't play a whole lot of clips on this show. A lot of sports shows will play clips of athletes saying this thing or that thing. It usually takes something kind of exceptional for us to fire up the old clip machine. But this we had to share with you because, you go through life. You go through life and then sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. And sometimes you just need a damn pep talk. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just need somebody to say the absolute right thing. And who do you expect that from in your life? Is it your wife, your husband, your mom or your dad, your uncle, or just somebody at work? But when it comes to the Cardinals, you expect it from the head coach. And I want to share this with you. It came from the Cards Flight Plan series. And this Jonathan Gannon, this new electric head coach, he got the entire crew together and gave them their first pep talk. Take a listen.
Welcome back. Who drove over here? Quick, let me see your hands. Who took the bus?
What?
Did you have fire in your gut? Did you? We're here for a reason. Don't get that twisted. Okay, we're here for a reason to win games. So if you didn't have that fire in your gut, you better light the fire pretty fast. Be who you are. Just understand, I'm looking for killers.
What the hell are you talking about? See? Did you ride the bus, Randy? Oh, man, by the time he was finished with that sentence, I'm going through a brick wall.
Yeah.
To get the hell out of there. Because what the hell are you talking about, Gannon? What the hell was that?
He wanted killers.
Don't ride the bus or do ride the bus? Did he want you to ride the bus to be a killer, or are you supposed to not ride the bus to be a killer?
I think it's obvious. He's looking, his battery is bad.
Pretty sure a lot of killers drive Uber.
And he's looking for somebody to give him a jump, at the end of the practice day. And to help him get his car started. But he is also looking for killers.
Do you have a fire in your gut?
What are you talking
about?
Do
you?
It's just as far as charisma goes.
We are here for a reason. Don't get that twisted.
Now, look, if his scheme and if his ideas work, they work. Like that'll do more for anybody than this. But as far as pep talks go, the other day, your wife was thinking about whether or not to be a Cardinals fan anymore.
Yes.
And Randy's speech that day that he gave us off the top of his head was a speech that got me more fired up than anything Jonathan Gannon said in that.
Talking about
Randy, and she asked for a copy of that, by the way. She loved that. She loved that so much she wants a copy of it.
I don't have it. I mean,
well, I told her we'll get it off the podcast or something. Yeah. But that's a pep talk. There's a hell of a pep talk right there. Well, and I would be happy with just anything more than what Gannon did. Gannon just, oh my God. And what was he talking about? Who drove over here?
Who took the bus? Is this a trick question? What? None of it made sense. None of it was inspirational. Did you have a fire in your gut? Then I'm like, do you need Tums? I mean, what are you asking me right now?
Well, you know, he is asking you, are you fired up to be on this football team?
And so what would get twisted? What would get twisted? We're here for a reason. Don't get that twisted. How am I going to misunderstand that? We're here for a reason. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Don't get that twisted. What? No, I didn't make anything dirty out of it. What did you? Did you make something dirty out of it? Because that just doesn't make sense.
We're here
What do
for
you?
a reason.
What? Yeah, I know. I get paid to be here. It's a job.
We're here for a reason.
Yeah, it's football. We're gonna play some. Can we go play some? Because listening to you do this talk is just not doing it for me, Coach. Yeah, I just and he's looking for killers. Okay, something going on, you know.
You better light the fire pretty fast.
Oh yeah, you better light that fire pretty fast. Getting cold in here.
It's just
this is one of the worst damn things I've ever seen. And they added that music to it. I wish we had a copy without the music because the music
it's like the Big Bang Theory laugh track. It's just you remove that everything just gets 10 times more awkward. That I don't know why I don't know why you had to add the epic music to that because you're actually showing how not epic the speech is by contrast.
And this is what made the show. Can you imagine? This is the good stuff.
Dan Campbell says a lot of things that make no sense. I'm going to bite some kneecaps, but damn it if you're not fired up when he's done saying it.
Welcome back.
Yeah, that was the most inspirational part of the entire thing. They should have just cut right there, moved on to the next thing.
Just understand, I'm looking for killers.
Oh, okay. Wait, what?
Welcome back.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Chief Skull says, Jeffrey, how many killers take public transportation? Probably a lot.
Decent amount, probably. Yeah.
Killers.
You know, if not current killers, future killers.
And definitely past killers have.
Probably some rapists. I don't know.
Sorry, you guys go ahead.
That does make sense.
You go ahead.
Donnie says Cardinals for the Michael Scott of the NFL coaches. It's kind
That's
of
all right.
feeling that way. What, Randy? What?
No, it's okay.
Can you spin this into being an inspirational moment for the Cardinals? Really?
Are you kidding me? I could spin anything
into
an emotional moment for the Cardinals. Are you kidding me?
That's true.
But that's the thing. It's almost like Randy has to be the inspirational translator for the Arizona Cardinals. So Jonathan Gannon says something, but then Randy says it better.
Yeah.
And then the team gets fired up.
You got to do the Key and Peele thing. You got to stand there behind Gannon and just every time he says anything,
be his anger translator. Because he's so level and even keel. It's not inspiring. It's just okay.
It's so funny to get a text like this, Helly's proctologist, with all the spelling errors in it. You're a jackass with stupid options. Dude, you need to learn to spell before you start calling somebody else stupid, just to start. I've counted 2 mistakes in a very short text. 1 spelling, 1 punctuation. You're missing some letters. What do you want from me? And by the way, I don't know who that's aimed at. Sorry, what were you saying?
You just had to know if you're going to send insults into the Daily Blender, have as few typos as possible because
be more specific.
Yeah.
Just understand, I'm looking for killers.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh man.
This just gets worse and worse. Just gets worse.
And look, I don't think that means he'll be a bad coach. Like I'm not going to put anything on
Keon,
a speech I saw.
He just asked who drove public transportation as opposed to private vehicles.
But what's the point of that question?
I don't know. Was he asking? I assume that some guys drove themselves and some guys took the team bus.
So like,
That's
if it
what
weren't
I
for
assumed.
us, you'd have no damn car.
I did not assume that he meant public transportation in particular.
What does that have to do with being a killer?
Not a damn thing. I'm not connecting. All I'm saying is if he's a better X's and O's guy, which I am assuming,
Is this supposed to be the first day of preseason?
I don't know where that came from. They need to make it go away. I have no idea, but it was from their little TV show there, I guess.
Oh my God.
Thundar San Barbarian says Killers. Didn't they do the halftime show for the Super Bowl a couple of years back?
Just understand.
Oh, no. I don't think they did. I think they did like the halftime for like a playoff game or something.
Yeah, I don't think the Killers have ever done the halftime
for a draft.
Not that I recall.
I do like the Killers though. It's a solid band right there. Hey, remember the other day we were telling about how Matthew Stafford's wife was doing a podcast and she just said some stuff and you're like, no.
Yeah.
I've just pictured Matthew Stafford running across the house. No, Kelly, because she's sitting there just retelling a story where Matthew Stafford's like, I don't know, I just can't connect with these players, these young guys. You know, they're always looking at their phone, and used to be people will be playing cards and talking to each other all the time, and now I don't know, I feel like maybe I'm old, maybe I'm dad compared to these guys. And she just took that out and retold the story on her podcast and made him look very bad. And so she has come out past that and said, ooh, that's probably the worst thing I've ever done to him in our relationship. Yeah, he says, I felt pretty bad about that. Put my foot in my mouth. She did follow up with, but everything I said was true. She wanted to make sure you knew everything. I said was true. maybe I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, I'm not in the locker room. I'm not there every day with these people. These his teammates and stuff. So, of course, we haven't heard from Matt Stafford yet. You think maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you just keep that one to yourself.
I think you can make it worse. You can definitely try to fix it and say something about it and make it worse. No, and if someone does ask him directly, I expect a lot of quarterback speak where he doesn't really say anything. You know, it's I don't know why she had to clarify that she wasn't wrong. We got that. The issue wasn't that she was lying. The issue was that she said something that's going to make life a little bit harder for him when his teammates hear he can't connect with them.
So he's 35 years old. She's 35 years old and, still learning. Here's what we're learning. Kelly, please don't retell things that your husband tells you in private. Matthew, don't tell her anything ever again. Problem solved.
That's not going to necessarily work in a marriage.
She can't be trusted.
Well, maybe she can be trusted now that she's realized, well, okay, I actually can't say these things to anybody, because I'm fairly certain she's like, my podcast audience isn't that big, and I say that, and then it goes to that audience and nobody really thinks anything of it. Just that's not how the internet works. Somebody is listening to that is also a football fan, and once they hear that, for any reason, that's going to go viral and spread. I just don't think that she thought that it was going to go beyond her podcast. That's why she said it. And now we're here. But I don't know that means you can't trust her forever.
I would never talk about work in front of her again. Ever. Chief Skull said the Killers ride a tour bus. Does that count? Maybe they're trying to get...
Then they would have answered that question as, we actually did take the bus, but just our bus.
Good Cat says Super Bowl halftime show should be the Burn in Hell Lakers. Speaking of that, can we get a rendition of Burn in Hell Lakers, please? You mean by Randy and I, or you mean by Fish Tank? I mean,
I'm guessing he means the Fish Tank version.
We're not even in season right now, Good Cat. I guess we could play just the basic version, Randy. Do you got the Burn in Hell? There you go.
Lakers, burn in hell, Lakers. Something knocks you out again. You won't be in the postseason, but something knocks you out again. Something knocks you out, so burn in hell.
There you go. There you go, Good Cat. That'll get you through. I would imagine we're going to need more of those from Fish Tank, to fit the appropriate moments.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm. So, if you go to Vegas, you're going to see something that you probably would have not even imagined possible. I don't know, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. NFL slot machines are debuting right now on casino floors. Wherever you can gamble, you're going to see an NFL slot machine. Remember when old Tony Romo got in trouble for hosting the fantasy football convention at some hotel that was owned by a casino, and they're like, "Wow, you can't do that. We got this is a scandal. Get him out of here. What the hell is going on?" And now things have changed.
Yep.
Because money. That's why.
Well, because money and because the NFL gets a cut of said money.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, the Tony Romo thing, they there's nothing in it for them.
These slot machines have officially licensed branding. You know, the NFL is going to make hundreds of millions of dollars.
You play the Dallas Cowboys slot machine, you will never win anything.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, you might get up into the upper tiers, but you'll never get past that. You'll never
might
win
get to
anything.
the first round, but
Yeah. It'll
Yeah.
look like you might win something, and then gone.
Yeah.
You pull the handle and stuff turns on the other machine. Oh, another interception. Oh no.
At least 10 of them.
Good Cat says every day is a good season to say burn in hell Lakers. I like the sentiment, even though the sentence didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that is 2 hours down and 1 to go. The next hour, nothing but NFL football. This entire stack of NFL football that I got in my hand is ready to be unleashed on an unsuspecting public. Just all the stuff I have left over, to be honest.
Right.
Make a big deal out of it. Maybe I shouldn't make a big deal out of it.
We bring you quality A+ material here on the Daily Blender.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff. There's good stuff in here. I might find it. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hi, this is Dr. Brad Schaefer. As a podiatrist, I can tell you no two people's feet are alike, which is why I recommend Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. They're customized for your feet, so you get a unique solution your feet really need, not just a one-size-fits-all insole. They're clinically proven to provide pain relief for achy feet, knees, lower back, plantar fasciitis, and heels. Take the Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotics assessment in Walmart today, now in the foot care aisle.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
And now, here are the top 3 things experts recommend you do to survive the summer with a broken AC. 1, breathe very slowly. 2, do not make any sudden moves until help arrives.
Just ignore it.
3, calmly express your disappointment to your husband for neglecting service on your air conditioner.
They finally get me unstuck from this leather chair. I'm gonna kick your.
Summers in Arizona are brutal. That's why thousands of Arizonans depend on Desert Diamond Air. From 24/7 emergency service to diagnostic checkups to full replacement, Desert Diamond specializes in both residential and commercial HVAC systems with competitive pricing and experience to service and repair all major AC brands. With federal tax credits up to $2,000, it's a great time to replace your AC system. Go to desertdiamondair.com or call 602-362-4599. That's 602-362-4599. Or search Desert Diamond Air on your mobile phone.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhalgh and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the Endless Summer Sale, September 1st through the 11th, and get 30% off paints and stains with prices starting at $31.14. That means 30% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 30% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
UFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live from the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. I missed Silver Pops' text message a little bit ago. He said earlier, he said the fact that Coach Gannon asked a room full of football players that he had a say in whether those players made the team or not is not giving me confidence in his ability to coach. I mean, cuts have been made. His team is set for the most part. Why the hell is he asking if they got a fire in their guts? He shouldn't have to ask that. Training camp would have proved to him which player had a fiery gut. It's a good point, Silver Pops. That is a good point.
But you want to try and fire the guys up every day. You don't stop just because training camp is over. He was asking, and it was a rhetorical question. He didn't sit there and say, "Show me your hands." You know,
he
if you've
did
got
say,
a
"Show me your hands."
If you've got hold on. If you've got a fire in your gut, he didn't ask that.
Well, he was more worried if they came on a bus or in a car.
And again, that's the part of this that's really bizarre. The fact that he was telling them they've got to be fired up, the fact that he was telling them, look, I'm looking for killers, and also I still couldn't.
I'm looking for killers.
I still don't know when the video came from.
Here's Gannon at a rap concert. Put your hands in the air like you just don't care. Whoop whoop. I mean, he's this side of Bill Belichick right now.
Yeah.
And look what Belichick's done. Only won 9 Super Bowls. Is it 9?
Look, if you'll take a boring defensive coach that wins, then that's
if a team can win under Bill Belichick, are you saying that this guy's initial, addressing the team is going to determine whether this team is a winning team or a losing team?
It ain't helping, Randy. And I guess we'll see what happens this season.
We're talking about Bill Belichick.
And look, is no Bill Belichick.
To be clear, there was a point that Bill Belichick.
Now, you think that's more exciting than Jonathan Gannon?
And I do think that there's a point.
One has respect in Super Bowls, the other.
Correct.
But he didn't always.
There was a point where Bill Belichick wasn't Bill Belichick. He hadn't won. He took over.
He didn't always talk like that either.
He did.
Come on.
You can go back and watch the Cleveland '95 football life on NFL Network whenever that comes up. That documentary. Yes, he did. Bill Belichick has sounded like this his entire life. He didn't get boring when he no longer needed to inspire people. He's always sounded like that.
Helly's proctologist is actually arguing with me over his text message. You liar! Nothing misspelled and except the period. Really, you offend us, then you get offended and slander me. Okay, what you have there, Y-O-U-R. You're a jackass should be Y-O-U-R apostrophe Y-O-U with apostrophe R-E.
Yep.
A jackass with stupid opinions. You need opinion to be spelled correctly, which would be not O-P-I-O-N-S. Do you not have spell check on your phone?
Do you know that you are digging this hole? If you're going to come in and defend your not spelling, I mean, you got to be really right about that, man. You used the wrong your.
Why don't you let us know what the stupid options are that are upsetting you right now? And which one of us is the jackass? I'm assuming me. I mean, I'll go ahead and just assume it's me. But what are my stupid options? Why don't we just talk about the stupid options before we get too bogged down in the semantics of your horribly typed text?
And just a word of advice. I would read that again before I hit send, because the roasting is not going to stop. This is not the place where the kid gloves are on, man. Look, it goes two ways. The fourth dimension is not nice when we say something that's wrong, out of bounds, or out of left field. So that's how we do it around here.
Pretty sure I didn't slander you.
Pretty sure that
think that wouldn't hold up in court, my friend. I'm pretty sure I'd win this case. Mr. Wilbur says JG is my man. Get off of him. Why were the Philadelphia Eagles fans so bent out of shape when he left, huh? They're gonna miss him, and it's our game.
Just understand, I'm looking for killers.
I got goosebumps. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah. Look, the reason
that
why
speech has just got me tingling.
I think that he can be a good coach, but it's going to be on the
I
strategic
hope he can
side of
coach
things,
better than he pep talks. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
which might be possible. We'll see.
Good Cat says, did Kyler show up to that meeting in a Mario Kart? Is that what he's asking about? What people are driving?
He didn't say anything about it.
I think it'd be awesome if he did.
He did ask if they took the bus.
Screaming Eagle.
I feel like that needs a 2-minute minor.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. 2-minute minor.
I mean,
fair enough. I mean, Screaming Eagle says, hi guys, happy Friday, happy Labor Day weekend. I guess tuned in. He says, I just tuned in. Sounds like a fun, typical Friday show. Kind of turning into that, Doc. It is kind of turning into that. Listen, though, I want to talk some NFL here. So let's start this thing up. And first, I want to say, hey, Keon, have you made the pilgrimage to FedEx Field? Have you been to a game at FedEx Field?
I have been in the parking lot with some friends, having the grilling up some stuff, but I have not actually been in the stadium there.
Good, because it's going to be better soon, because the Commandos are now putting $40 million of their own money into fixing that thing up. They're taking and they're going to pretty up the place for you. $40 million.
They need to do that. They're going to put some money into some new suites and stuff for the big spenders to come watch the game.
Sound system, video system.
Yeah,
some maintenance issues.
Yeah.
What about the plumbing?
That's the maintenance.
The infrastructure issues. They're going to take care of that. I was reading about that and some themed suites. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, what does the themed suite mean?
I have no idea. I'm guessing
today we're going to go into the Gibbs suite. Tomorrow we'll watch next week's game from the Hogs suites.
I guess I'm not entirely certain, but I will say that with the days of raw sewage falling from the ceiling on people, that's going to be over.
There'll be somebody sitting there going, I kind of miss it when we had raw sewage.
I'm sure somebody will.
Yeah. It's all prissy and weird here now.
Gone are the days of barricades free falling onto opposing divisional quarterbacks and nearly killing them. Jalen Hurts, if he wasn't, just a guy that was capable of reacting to things quickly, would have died there. And then of course all the people that sued and all of that. I just think that that stuff is over.
Maybe even new turf.
If the team is a laughing stock, it won't be for reasons off the field. That's for sure. And I'm looking forward to just that.
Good for you, Keon. I'm glad. I'm happy for you.
I wonder if 40 million is enough for that hole. That place pretty jacked up. And I'm not saying that just to be rude. I'm just saying, will 40 million be enough to take care of the playing surface and the pipes and the...
Well, they're not going to do the playing surface this year. So the 40 million is just for things that they think that they can fix, this year.
Can I ask a dumb question? How much does it cost for an NFL field? How much does that cost?
That's not a dumb question. It's a great question.
Because he got 40 million for the rest of it. And the field is like maybe $1 million tops.
Well,
couple 100,000.
I mean, probably what has to happen is they'll probably have to strip the field, do a new a subterranean, foundation for the field. And then they'll bring in the new sod if that's what they're going to do. I don't know.
But so there's an infrastructure issue to it where you got to have sprinklers it's an outside field, right?
Yeah, it's an outdoor field. And the thing is, like, it's just a matter of, it's not that they can't spend the money this season. It's that you can't fix it during the season.
Yeah, no.
The players are using it, so you're going to have to wait till the off season. So the 40 million, this is for
confirmed. They're not doing anything about the field because the field has been a thing.
Well, the field, first off, when Ron Rivera came in, he fired all the groundskeepers. Like, they all got fired. So actually the field has been slowly being fixed and repaired over time.
Okay.
Just from a Ron Rivera came in and was just like, well, look, how many injuries have we had on this damn thing?
So hopefully it's not an ankle or a knee eater anymore.
Yeah. I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
I think it will be upgraded this coming off season.
So, but yeah, that's the thing is like that's an off-season thing that you can do. You wouldn't put out a press release necessarily for we're fixing the field. They're putting out the press release for the stuff that's going to affect the fans. That's going to change the fan experience because that's what they really want to get out there.
Oh yeah.
Cowboy Sparky says 40 million. Wow, a lot of money for upgrades that place. Good luck with that. Of course, Cowboy fan is probably not going to have a whole lot positive to say about what happens to the Washington Commandos field, but hey, it's 40 more than they've had thrown at it in the past.
And you also don't want to throw. You want to make the field at this point manageable, or the stadium rather, because they want a new stadium. They're working to see if they can. Honestly, the RFK seems like the place that they're trying to go. The old stadium that the team used to play in, that has all the memories, and of course it'll actually be in DC. Like they want to go to RFK, and so that's going to cost a lot of money to renovate that. Really, to make that a modern NFL stadium. It's owned by the city of DC. They're going to have to figure out how to negotiate that and get that.
It will cost a
under
lot
control.
less than building a brand new stadium. If they just go in there and retrofit that, they spend $100 million or something. I mean, that would be amazing.
I'm very happy for you, Keon.
Yeah,
very happy for you. We'll see if
it's just like the stuff that people, if people are, if the team doesn't turn around or whatever, and people want to laugh at me, they'll laugh at me for football stuff, and I'm okay with that.
Tell you what, not going to laugh at you for sellout crowds because right now that stadium is sold out.
Yeah.
Your games are going to be packed.
When the tickets came out, they were sold out in like a day. I mean, it was just, you couldn't get any.
So, one owner in, 1 hour out, it does not equal automatic wins and stuff, but the spirit of the team, the spirit of the city, and the people who are fans, it's all been sort of renewed. So that's exciting to see. Screaming Eagle says, Keon, what will the new Washington team's name be?
I don't know. They haven't settled on any name. They've only told us what it won't be. It won't be the original name. So I don't know where they're headed with this. And honestly, I don't care. I just want to see the team be, respectable. You see what Ron Rivera has built and see if it can work. And and I like Ron Rivera. I hope that he'll be able to do enough that he can stick around. But if not, we'll be moving on to a new coach and a new front office and everything else.
Well, I think it'll be a nicer conversation if they do come out later and say, well, here's the names we're thinking about. Or they may not even ask you. They may come back and say, well, Josh Harris and the Washington, I guess people on the board have decided it's going to be this. No matter what it is, I feel like it's going to be nice. You know what I mean? Now, what I mean by that is it's not going to be because when they had all the choices and they came up with Washington Commanders, nobody felt like Commanders was the one they wanted to go with.
Yeah, and when they polled it, Commanders wasn't the name that came out on top.
Right. So they just pulled that one out. They asked you, what do you want? Well, too bad you're getting this one. And because a lot of people had other choices on that.
The players thought it was stupid. I remember specifically one interview with Chase Young where he was on NFL Network and they were asking him about the team names, the possible names. And they said Commanders. And he was like, that's stupid. I don't like that one. And then they ended up doing it anyway, because honestly, they wanted to use the military as kind of a crutch to try and hide all of the other crappy things that they do in that building. And if you try and ingratiate yourself to the military, you hope that people will go, but they're being respectful.
So the next time, if there is, they may just stick with Commanders and say, listen, this is who we are now. Let's just let's just move on. But if there is a choice, either you get to make the choice or it's chosen for you by the club. It's not going to come, with all the baggage. Now it's just going to be, it'll either be fun for everybody to talk about and decide, or they're going to pick a name and you're going to go, yeah, okay, I'm good with that. Or, not my first choice, but hey, at least it's not Dan Snyder. So no matter what, win-win. It's just a win. It's all you got is coming. Maybe not on the field, Keon, but beyond that, nothing but wins.
Well, I mean, it's a tough division for them, but I think they've got a good football team. So it's not going to be, laughers all the way around. And I do think that there's something to the fact that Ron Rivera came in and had to do a bunch of administrative stuff. He can just focus on football. He can just be a football coach now and not put out every fire that pops up in Ashburn, Virginia.
Thundar, the Center Barbarian, just sent me a text with a picture. It's a bunch of fancy new golf carts. He says, I'm at Costco. I have zero need for one of these golf carts, but I kind of want one. Then I can go to one of Gannon's practices and say, I came in my own ride. Those are pretty sweet looking golf carts, though. I'll tell you that. You know, you ever see the video that's on the internets there that this guy, he's like, I bought a car for $2,000 from China, and it's like a little truck, but it's electric, and it only goes 28 miles an hour. And it's like, buddy, you just bought a golf cart. That's what that is. But golf cart for 2,000 is a pretty good deal too. You know, golf carts ain't cheap anymore. So, you know, yeah, golf cart. Although, can I just ask people to stop letting your kids ride around in golf carts on the streets? Could you just stop that, please? Every time I'm coming into the neighborhood, there's kids like running around in golf carts. It's like, you know, you're not street legal. You're dangerous. I worry about, you know, these idiot kids, you know, getting wiped out there on the road in these golf carts. Good Cat says, lest we forget, the Commandos Stadium is near Washington, D.C. $40 million will cover a haircut, a hammer, and maybe 2 beers. If it's government work, Good Cat. If it's government work, you're absolutely correct. But if it's done by private sector, should be able to get a lot done with that.
Yeah, I mean, he's just renovating the stadium. They're not adding a ton of things. They are refitting things. They are, you know, connecting plumbing that needs to be connected. The maintenance on some of those, for instance, the barricade that nearly fell on Jalen Hurts, that only happens when you don't maintain that sort of thing. They're just it's maintenance. They're paying $40 million essentially for maintenance, and you hold back the rest of your money for let's fix up RFK and get that stadium back again. I mean, back in the day, that stadium, the way that they made it, it was flexible. The stands were actually flexible. So when the you know, everybody was going crazy in the stadium literally rocked. You want to go back to that place. So you don't want to spend all your money trying to fix up FedEx. You're just
tighten up some bolts, and then let's worry about moving. You know, it's kind of like you're selling the house. And you're like, oh, we're going to go buy a new house. You still got to fix up the house you're in before you can move on to the next one. Reaper says, hey guys, have a great weekend and be safe. You too, buddy. That's right. 3-day weekend. And don't forget, today is September 1st. Don't forget to pay your rent.
Yep.
In case you need to remember that, or your mortgage or whatnot. Mr. Wilbur says, you know, I like what Randy was saying. We're going to bring in strippers to Washington. Yeah,
What?
we're going to have a lot of grass to smoke. This is good.
Randy
did you
White
say
said
that?
nothing of the sort.
No,
I am a little surprised at you.
not even close.
I feel like that might be inappropriate.
What?
In fact, I think you need a 2-minute penalty.
But I didn't
for saying such horrific things.
But I
think you should blow the whistle on yourself right now so we can go to break.
No,
the sooner you just go ahead and accept the punishment.
I'm not going to do that. No.
Because if you said those things,
I'm not blowing the whistle on myself. I did not do that.
All right,
I
well
did
then
not say-
explain yourself, please.
I did not say anything about strippers or grass. Nothing. I said new field is what I said. Subterranean a foundation, and then bring in a new sod is what I said.
So what you're saying is Wilbur has just slandered you.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
We're going to go
Andy-
back. We're going to listen to the recording.
Yeah. All right,
and
you do that.
And by God, Randy, if you said those things, it will be a 2-minute penalty for you.
All right. Well, I'll take it. If you can find it, I'll take it.
Good Cat says the Commandos need to honor Joe Gibbs and they need to name that field after him. What do you think of that there, Keon?
I mean, I would love that. I mean, he is the most successful coach in the history of the franchise. All 3 Super Bowls came by way of Joe Gibbs. And the only not truly embarrassing stretch of years in the Dan Snyder era was when Joe Gibbs came back. So, I mean, it's what you've got, man. Yeah, he deserves to be honored in the best way. And if not, name the field after him. Name something cool after him, or get him a statue, something, man.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right, we have to take a break. We got more NFL to talk about when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
College football, number 2 Michigan will be home in Ann Arbor on Saturday as they take on East Carolina. Michigan favored by 35.5 points with an over-under of 51.5. Number 5 LSU taking on number 8 Florida State. That game on Sunday night in Orlando. The Tigers are a 2.5-point favorite, minus 130 on the money line. The Seminoles plus 108 with an over-under of 55. Number 9 Clemson will play Monday night against Duke in Durham. The Tigers favored by 12.5 points with an over-under of 55.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Staples has big savings on everything you need for back to school or stocking up the office. Save on all your school essentials from notebooks to markers. Save on everything you need for travel, like luggage, portable tech, and travel-sized personal items. Plus, save on signs, banners, and posters from Staples print and marketing services. And now at Staples, you can save even more with $10 off document printing when you spend $40 or more. Get everything for the office and the classroom for less at Staples. Ends 9/30. Exclusions and restrictions apply. See associate or visit staples.com/print for details.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the Endless Summer Sale, September 1st through the 11th, and get 30% off paints and stains with prices starting at $31.14. That means 30% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 30% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is offering a 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, the perfect offer for crazy plays, like the famous butt fumble. It's the GOAT of embarrassing plays.
Really, remember when you bet me you could do a live show with a GOAT as your co-host and he face-kicked you?
Thankfully, I didn't take the under on that one.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect today. The industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
Are you ready for the NFL season? Are you ready to win $1,580 in cold hard cash? Sign up today for the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Get over to 1580thefanatic.com and sign up today. Someone needs to win this $1,580 first prize. Why not you? Finish in second place. Cha-ching! You win $500. The Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Sign up today at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I just learned something. Oh,
Right.
you know how the wife's always trying to get me to eat rice cakes and stuff.
Okay.
And well, I tell you what, I was really surprised. Just learned if you put peanut butter on the rice cake, you can really throw those things a lot farther. I mean, they will sail if they have a little bit of that counterweight there instead of just being like a styrofoam. So just a little tip for the rest of you. Yeah.
All right.
888-368-1580. Jake the Snake says, hey guys, just changed jobs. Haven't been able to text in a while. Great show. Here's hoping the Suns win it all with the Cardinals going 0-17 to get Caleb Williams. Wow, there's a lot in that text right there.
Awful lot there. Yeah. Wow. The last time he texted in was February 15th. So Jake the Snake, good to hear from you. Dr. Roadmap says, hey, Randy, how about a weather report? Yeah. What is it going to be like this weekend? Okay, I
can do that.
Fire it up.
From the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White coming at you live this weekend. Still a chance of thunder showers, and that's going to last throughout the rest of the evening here. There's a lot of moisture in the region, and that could pop up all sorts of storms. 89 degrees currently under partly cloudy skies. Yeah, you heard me right. 89. Going to be 93 Saturday, 98 Sunday. Get back into the 100s early next week, and by next weekend, yeah, Jeffco, the arrival of 110.
Oh, come on!
I said it wasn't over, and it's not over. From the Harman Solar 1580
Bull
Fanatic
crap.
Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White. Back to you, Jeffco.
That's horse nuggets. God,
I'll take the relief. I'll you know what? I'll take the couple of days.
Oh, it's just teasing us, just teasing us. But all right, yeah. I'll enjoy it while we can, but still.
Next week, I'll tell you when it's time for you to go ahead and scalp your yards and plant your winter rye.
Big old pile of poo right there.
Well,
Big George says, question for Mr. the King. Would you start DK Metcalf, Brian Robinson, or Jalen Waddle in the flex position?
He's not.
God damn it, George. You're listening to the podcast. You're not listening to the actual show. He was on yesterday, and I'm not saving that question for next week. Cowboy Sparky says, okay. How about this? $40 million towards a statue honoring Coach Gibbs. That would definitely upgrade the stadium. Huh?
It would, but I think you just handle the stuff that's raw sewage and
you need a $40 million statue.
Barricades that might kill people. I don't think you need a $40 million statue either. But
no.
Yeah, there are ways to honor Joe Gibbs that won't cost you $40 million. And he wouldn't want you to spend it anyway.
See, the problem is they're gonna lay out $40 million, but because it's in DC, because it's in the vicinity there, the government's going to have to take their share of it, and then somebody's got to get paid out. So it's actually only about $10 million.
Just broken noses in there. Mr. Wilbur says, way to strip all the questions about the weather, Randy. You have just made a lot of people really wet. What?
Excuse me?
What? Wilbur, who's typing for you right now?
Wilbur. Wow.
I'm uncomfortable.
Me too.
And you know who should feel uncomfortable right now is Chris Jones. Travis Kelce is begging him much too emotionally to come back. He's all like, please, I love you, come back. Chris, I love you, come back. Travis Kelce is like, you're scaring me. You're really scaring me. Can you please come back? And well, here's the thing. He's just, he's clowning. We know that. Travis Kelce's just messed around on the podcast. But here's the thing that is a little, Chris Jones has been holding out for a reason, trying to get paid. I don't feel like you should be begging him to come back when he's trying to get his, Kelce, you're going to need to get yours soon. I'm just saying, and they held out giving Kelce his for quite some time. So you got to know how it feels. I feel like he's putting undue pressure on Chris Jones to come back before he gets his $30 million a year he's asking for.
But here's the thing. Isn't according to the CBA, isn't Jones dishing out like 50 large? Is it a week or is it a day? Is it a week?
I think maybe it's not a day, is it? Yeah, I think it's a week.
I don't know. I heard it somewhere, but he's paying out 50 large. I mean, it seems to me at some point.
You know what he said, Randy? He said, I can afford it. Wow. He says, this is fine. This is, I am messing around. I can afford it. So
can I get to know him? Because I'd like to get a new vehicle.
To be his pal.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, you can be fined as much as $40,000 a day. You start missing in training camp. They start with 16,000 the first day, 32,000 the second day, 50,000 the third day, and then we just stick around there for Well, as long as you're willing to hold out,
$50,000 a day,
which is it's a whole lot of money.
You know, Mr. Pink Eye asks a fairly good question. He says, why no NFL games this week? Why not just have a fourth preseason game? Well, I think the idea is they had their 3 preseason games, and then they're going to have a week of rest. So anybody who got injured during that mess maybe has a chance to come back during week 1. But you know, it would be better. Start the damn season this week and put another bye week in there somewhere to give them a little extra spaces to get well in the middles of the season. Don't you think that would be better than just this dead week right here at the beginning? I'm an innovator.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It depends on.
Isn't this sort of like a bye week?
Yeah, but you don't need a bye week today. You need a bye week.
Well, with all due respect, depending on which preseason game you were in and what injuries occurred, you might actually need it today.
No, that's what I said at the beginning. So it could either be that or whatever. But I think as a team, and I'm not saying as a player, because if you get hurt as a player, any time you get is good. But as a team, I would be looking for a bye week, somewhere in 1/3 mark, somewhere at the 2/3 mark. Somewhere in that kind of area to try to make sure that, I at least have the bulk of my team in a better chance of being good to go to win a game.
As a fantasy owner.
Yes, Randy.
We don't need a second bye week.
It's not a big deal because if they added a second bye week, then I would extend the bench. I would make sure that there was enough room to hold enough position. Remember when COVID hit, we extended the bench in case people had issues. We extended the amount of people you could put on reserve because we thought people would be having COVID all over the damn place. So there's ways of working around it for fantasy, Randy. So if they had 2 bye weeks in the season, but yet there was a game every week for 18 weeks.
This coming year when the NFL owners meet at the Biltmore, I'm going to go down there as a team owner. I'm going to voice my opinion.
I think you have every right to be there, Randy. Every right.
Damn right.
Chief Skull says someone should tell Travis Kelce that it's pathetic to beg another man who's playing hard to get. You know what I'm saying? It's just not right. Yeah, it's not really high on dignity, but here's what Travis Kelce wants. He says, I want another Super Bowl ring with you, brother. That's what it's all about. He just misses his friend. He knows how important a player Chris Jones is to the Chiefs, and he's just expressing that. But I think he should take a moment and think about, putting pressure on a guy who's trying to work to get his, it's not really fair for you to do that.
$50,000 a week. Wow.
Yeah. If he can afford it, if it works for him.
I mean, I don't know how he grew up, but he couldn't have come from a family that could afford $50,000 a week.
Well, it's all about scale, Randy. Let's say you've got $30 million, or I don't know how much money this guy has made. Let's just say he's made $50 million. And he's made $50 million. And part of what he's doing is a strategic thing to get $30 million a year as a guy who's deserving it. Go ahead and pay that $50,000 fine, whether it's a week or a day or whatever. He has done the math. He has looked ahead and said, yeah, I can give up this $3, $4, $5 million of my $50 million because that's what I'm doing to try to make the $30 million, which then turns into $120 million.
Look, I mean, respect, but I can't even fathom that.
You were saying that they should do this exact same thing, Randy, for the running backs.
No, I understand what but I just can't. I'm coming from the aspect of I can't even imagine that. I didn't come from that kind of a background. I mean, if I was getting paid, all right, if I had $10 million in the bank and I was holding out to get $30 million a year, which is okay. Right. I understand that.
Let me help you out with the scale then.
$50,000 a day.
$50,000 was too much.
I would be just
for
dying.
Us. Okay, inside. But if $500 a day is too much for us. But if it's $5 a day, or let's say it was $50 a day, to a point, $50 a day is going to hurt. But in the scale of things, if we got fined $50 a day for something, we're like, fine, whatever, even $500 a day to a point you'd be able to do. But he's done the math of what he can do to his scale, so we wouldn't do
$50,000 a day or a week, but we might do $50 a day or $500 a day. You know, I mean, I don't think we're going to do 5,000. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
about
fucking
the
crazy.
scale, and his scale is decisively bigger and better than ours.
I don't know. I mean,
But
that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I can't fathom that. Even if I was making millions of dollars as a human being. I mean, I don't know about Keon. I don't know about you, but for me,
yeah, I understand that. But there's one sentence. It's called you. Sometimes you got to spend money to make money.
Well, I get that, but we're talking about fines and penalties.
Yeah, but he's looking at as an investment in himself by standing firm and not accepting less than what he thinks he's worth.
I mean, okay, but
so let's ask Keon.
Kind of weirds me out. I don't know.
Is Chris Jones worth the $30 million a year?
I think he is. He is a disruptor of a defensive line. He blows up plays.
Will another team pay him $30 million a year?
I'm sure somebody would.
So Randy, he's doing what is right for him and his family, and he's got a war chest to be able to fight this fight of attrition, and he'll get what he gets.
Well, I understand that.
I think Randy is saying from just a practical perspective.
Oh, I know it's kind of gross.
You know, like he's strategically, I don't think he's necessarily doing anything wrong.
I mean,
but just from the standpoint of if you know I make $50,000 in a year,
if he can just go ahead and just rip off $50,000 a day for missing football, I mean, I would rather see that money go to. We've got a real homeless problem in this country. You know what I mean? I
hear
seems
you.
like that money should go there.
It
rather
doesn't.
than-
The money goes right to the fat NFL owners. It does. But he's got to do what he's got to do what's right for him. So you're absolutely right. Conceptually, it's a little bit weird and hard to take. So many people who are driving home right now, making the money they make, they can't explain. They can't fathom that either, to give up that much money.
And
but it's all about scale.
Make no mistake, that's why the NFL changed the rules for the fines to be like this. It used to not be anywhere near this insane. And then in the last CBA, owners were basically tired of players holding out, and they wanted to address that. And the way that they did was, you're just going to be fined way the hell more for doing it. And it has led to less holdouts. But you're going to still have people who think, look, if I sit out for a week or two in the NFL season, they're going to come around to realizing of what life is like trying to scheme up, a pass rush without me on the line, and they'll pay me, and then we can just stop this ridiculous
And
back and forth.
Number one Rattlers fan is right. 90% of the time, the owners will refund those fines as a sign of good faith when it's time to sign.
I get that, but I mean, we've got a sexual deviant in Cleveland that is making $200 million, and he wasn't fined anything, and he was only suspended. 7 games? Eight
they
games?
fined him
$11
$4
games?
million.
Oh my God, $4 million. He's making $200 million. I mean,
I hope somebody breaks his legs.
In something like that, he should be fined $50,000 a day that he misses, plus the 11 weeks that he's out. He should have missed a whole damn year. Plus on top of that. But I mean, we're talking about a contract, and I'm not saying anything bad or negative. I'm just saying, dude, I can't even fathom that.
But I can't either. It's easy when I'm saying, like, tactically it makes sense for him. And if he's done the math and he's like, or he saw this coming and started saving.
Even if you're a multimillionaire, 50 large a day in fines.
I don't think I've made that much in a year ever. So like, I know. I get it.
Cardinal Art says, I'm kind of glad there's no NFL this week. Let the kids in college shine for a couple of weeks, because once the NFL starts, it's over for the NCAA in certain ways. And as far as Jones, once he's got his new deal, I'm pretty sure KC pays those fines back. Pour me a whiskey, please, Randy. Mr. Wilbur says, how many strippers? Oh, geez.
What?
How many
Why?
strippers can you get on one scale?
Is Mr.
Pour me another shot of Whistle Pig, please.
Is Mr. Wilbur, is he blind or deaf? I forget. Which
All I
one
know
is
is he's got strippers on the mind right now.
he
He
must
really
be.
does.
Yeah.
You should handle that on your own time, Mr. Wilbur.
Yeah.
How does a blind guy?
Ooh, don't say that.
How does a blind guy enjoy strippers? You see what I'm saying? I mean, that's an interesting bit of braille, but as long as the room is cold, we should probably just go to break. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the Endless Summer Sale, September 1st through the 11th, and get 30% off paints and stains with prices starting at $31.14. That means 30% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 30% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
It is Raymond and Austin on All-Star Sports Radio. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is celebrating their 30th year. The can't miss offer. 125% sign-up bonus and up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, and you can only get it from BetUS.com. An awesome offer for this season's wild plays.
Nice, like that infamous Tuck rule back in 2002.
Tuck rule, worst call in sports.
Man, you're like the old lady in the Titanic. It's been 21 years.
Hey, I'll be king of the world with Bet Protect. It's like having 30 get out of any Tuck rule shenanigans in my back pocket.
But your back pocket is usually empty, bro.
Keep your shoulder pads on. Is there anything else about BetUS you haven't told me?
The less you know, the better. BetUS has live in-game betting, a 200% crypto sign-up bonus, and online casino for some blackjack.
You've been holding back.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect this football season. Visit BetUS.com for the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus and up to 30 risk-free bets. Or give them a call at 1-800-MyBetUS to get started.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Told my wife yesterday, she goes, hey, Mike Evans is retiring. Like, wait, what? What are you talking about? Like right now or the into the thing? And I started to panic a little bit. Really? Mike Evans? And she says, yeah. So I look it up. Turns out she misunderstood. Mike Evans actually is probably going to be in his last year with the Buccaneers. She thought I said he's going to be in his last year. He was going to leave football after this year.
Yeah.
But I guess Mike Evans has said, listen, September 9th, that's when you better have a new deal for me, because after that, we're not talking about it anymore. He's not saying he's holding out. He's not saying he's not going to play, but he's basically saying that is the day that you make your decision, not during the season, not in the off season,
on September 9th. Because if I'm not mistaken, he's a free agent after this year. And he's like, you make it right by me now, or you don't get a chance to make it right by me. And really, let's be honest. What reason other than boatloads of money would Mike Evans have to stay with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? They have no quarterback. They have no coach. They have no hope anytime soon. And let's face it, he's 9 years in and he doesn't have a whole lot of years left. So he needs to go somewhere if he wants to win.
Yeah, no kidding.
Somewhere else. But if he wants to get paid and finish up with the Buccaneers, well, that's nice. That's an option too.
Certainly can't blame him. I mean,
he ain't what he used to be.
Now. Yeah. Well, no.
But what do you think he's worth there, guys? What do you think is?
Well, I think he's an upper 10%, receiver. I think this is somebody you look at to complete your team. He's not a wide receiver one. I don't think, Keon. I mean,
what do you say, Keon? How much we should be paying him
right now? I mean, his issue is always, or at least lately, has been health and just staying healthy. Because when he's out there, he does play at a high level. If he's in the ballpark of, 15, 16 million, I don't think that that's something that would be crazy for him to ask for as a base salary. Because he is one of those guys. He's currently the highest paid member of the team. And they would probably like to have him around if they are in fact the worst team in football this year, which is very possible. They are so bad.
Well, there's the Cardinals.
But they're right there.
It's nothing personal.
Like, there's like three teams who could really play for the worst, and the Buccaneers are easily one of them.
Third is Texans,
Rams, Texans.
But the Cardinals, Cardinals have the Texans pick. So if the Texans are the worst team in football, it's just the Cardinals pick. So if they end up in a position where they get a Caleb Williams, or say they get the second pick and they get a Drake May, they might want the veteran wide receiver around to be there to support the rookie. And he's not going to be there if they're not willing to pay.
The amazing thing for Randy and the Arizona Cardinals is a lose-lose is a win-win. 888-368-1580. Moist One says, I actually get paid pretty well to strip for Wilbur. I just put a fresh piece of fish in my underwear. I'm good to go.
Damn.
Gonna let that simmer in everybody's brains for half a second.
Did we need to hear that today?
No, but I just felt like I wanted to read it anyway.
Oh, well, that's how we get here, I guess.
Usually I don't read those. But there was that moment when I looked over. First off, that was his first text today. Second, if I had to have that in my head, you guys now get to have it in yours. That's kind of where I'm at with that.
Wow.
I mean, I would have wished for that to not happen to you.
I need to go pour some bleach in my ears.
Well, now here we are. That's where we're at. So now, Keon, help me out here. You were telling me this story the other day about Andy Reid, and everybody talks about how Andy Reid is a genius, and he's an offensive genius, comes up with little fun trick plays, things you don't expect, and he just always coming up with these amazing plays. But there was one time where he didn't come up with the play. Somebody else came up with the play and said, hey, you should try this play. And he did. And word is it worked. But the story is he was just hanging around and he says, yeah, this janitor gave me a play. He says, hey, I got this play for you. And he kept saying over and over. So Andy Reid's like, all right, here's a card, drop the play. And he did. And he's like, dang, that's pretty good. And the word is they tried it right before halftime and it worked. Is this real? And do we know what the play is? Do we know?
I still don't know exactly what the play is. There are people who have heard that interview, heard him tell the story about the janitor that gave him the play that scored. And they are trying to place, because he was with the Packers at the time. He was an assistant with the Packers. And they're trying to place which play in Green Bay is the one that actually scored the touchdown.
Is this Brett Dinky Dink Favre time, or is this Aaron Discount double check time?
No, I believe this is Favre time.
Well, that's gonna be tough to figure out. Why doesn't he just tell you? Why won't he say what it is? Maybe it's a play he still does. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I don't think he's giving up any plays anytime soon. And also, I don't know. He was just kind of telling the story offhandedly. I don't even know if he remembers the play. That's also possible because it was a very long time ago. But he does remember, hey, this wasn't a play that I made up. The willingness of Andy Reid to get plays from anywhere is why he's Andy Reid.
You have to imagine it wasn't all in that one moment. He got the play. They must have practiced the play. Then he tried it at halftime, and it worked. It wasn't just, yeah. And
like
he shows everybody.
He bumped into him in the locker room as they were heading out onto the field.
then he's like, okay, Favre, you do this, you do that, you go up long, you turn left. It's not like that. It's not how that would happen. But that's a hell of a story. But that would be between 1992 and 1996. So kind of hard to look up because it's right before halftime and scored. So if you can find any, it's probably more than a few, right? Because that's during the Favre prime, right?
Yeah. And the 2-minute drill under Andy Reid's a very important thing. So the idea that he coached a team that scored before halftime in a 4-year window, that doesn't tell us a whole lot.
Well, also,
it rules out some games, though.
How does he get the play in? Because at that time, he wasn't the OC. He was the tight ends coach. He didn't get promoted to quarterback assistant head coach until 97, 98.
So that would mean that he basically gave that to the offensive coordinator.
Well, who was at that time? I know that when he coached there, John Gruden was there, Steve Mariucci was there, Mike Holmgren was there. They were all sort of part of that assistants crowd, but
then we don't know this. We don't know specifically which year it would have been. So we don't know which coach or which offensive coordinator it would have been. We've got nothing to work with here on.
Well, actually, one of our friends at CBSSports.com, Jeff Kerr, he thinks it happened in a 1996 game against the Eagles. It's a week 2 game. It fits exactly how the story goes. Brett Favre threw a 20-yard touchdown to Robert Brooks, and the score came just before halftime, as he had said. So they were up 23-7 at the time of the play. So I guess if you're going to try a new play, that'd be a good time to do it. So maybe it was that one. I have to go see some tape.
I mean, it's just, you're going to have to just narrow down the specifics until you have it. But in terms of which coach can back him up, who could say?
I think he's making crap up just so we do this.
I don't think so.
I don't believe him. I mean, he's pretty much a genius by himself. He don't need help.
But that's
from
the
a janitor
thing,
or anyone else.
What makes him a genius is that he's willing to look anywhere for inspiration. He's not.
Dude draws mustaches on guys when they fall asleep on the plane.
Okay, yeah. A lot of geniuses are weird people.
It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1918, the Major League Baseball regular season scheduled to end today due to World War I. It was extended when the owners decided, you know what? No, let's play through Labor Day. The St. Louis Browns wanted the Cleveland Indians fined and believed Cleveland should forfeit the 2 games for refusing to play in the additional contest. Back to me, Jeffrey. That's confusing. So the Major League Baseball says, you know what? World War I has just started. And, we probably should stop playing for a little bit. And then they're like, no, we do need to play. But then the Cleveland Indians are like, what, dude, the war started. We're not playing. And so it caused a big old brouhaha in between all the teams. Still kind of missing the point here. World War happening now. 1918. Just saying.
Wow. Yeah.
Feel like there's bigger fish to fry than that sort of thing. So basically it's we don't learn from history. We don't learn from history. The exact same thing, but now it's Skip Bayless when Hamlin went down screaming they should get the game started back up again. So we haven't learned anything from history. And the fact that Skip Bayless still is doing a show, we definitely haven't learned anything from history.
No, to be fair, is Skip Bayless really doing the show?
No, according to him, he's carrying the show.
I saw clips of it and they are humorous. You've got Richard Sherman and Keyshawn Johnson and Michael Irvin, which is just big personality. Just
don't let him talk.
You could just see entire clips of Skip Bayless just sitting there looking at all of them as they argue louder than he ever could.
He's a little scared to say anything.
It is hilarious. And then there was one clip that I saw. It was the end of the show. And he was saying, Well, I'm trying to make this point really quickly because you guys didn't let me say anything earlier. He was so mad.
I'd love it if they interrupted him again at that moment and not let him finish. Let him.
Michael Irvin was like, "I know you're not blaming me." It's like, actually, you were the loudest one. He went on a whole monologue about how he had played football at every level of the game and won championships, and how dare Richard Sherman question. It was ridiculous TV. I don't think I'll watch it going forward, but just to see Skip Bayless try to find a place to get in on his own show and not be able to, that was worth some chuckles.
Well, we used it on this date in Big Georgia sports history about 1918. It was 1917 when the Titanic went down. It was 2023 when the Titanic of Skip Bayless' show went down. So, so many parallels of history right now. It's just stunning. So Labor Day weekend, we will not be on the radio on Monday, but we'll be back on Tuesday. So what are you guys doing this weekend? Keon, you got any plans for the 3-day Labor Day weekend?
So much college football, just an absurd amount.
Is there some on Monday too?
Yeah, there's a Monday night game.
Yeah,
Monday night game. It was Clemson and somebody.
Who's your team
Duke,
playing?
yeah.
I wasn't paying attention earlier.
They were playing Rice.
Oh, right. We talked about Rice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I shared that tidbit about Rice University.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Average Joe says the wreck of the Titanic was found on this date, by the way. Nuh-uh. Shut up. Really?
Wow,
what a
Titanic
weird
goes down on
coincidence.
this date, and then they found the actual wreckage.
No.
on this date.
It was in the winter that it went down. They just found it today in 1980 something. You know, Bob Ballard.
That's what I meant. On this date, but on a different
I
date.
believe it sunk in April.
Yeah, sunk in April, but they found it in the 80s.
Oh.
It may have been James Ballard, not Bob Ballard. Isn't Bob Ballard the guy with the horses? I don't know. I'm confused. Whatever. 3-day weekend to get more confused or unconfused. Everybody be safe out there, and we'll see you back on Tuesday. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Bye.
It can happen so easily. A few drinks become a few too many. It's time to go.